It's time! Hello, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Achievement Hunting 101. This is level 49. This is our live show. I am back. It's been a while, so this should be fun. Joining me tonight, and I want to introduce him first because he's got a nice new camera, is Nate, or KooshMoose.
Hello.
Look at that. He's so close.
Yeah, I got the camera thing figured out. Thank you, patrons.
He's such in view. And I realize I'm still not pointing to the right spot.
Still not.
Yeah. Pretty bunch.
My Discord is different than the Twitch chat. I just looked at that. So Nate up there is up there. Also joining me to my left is Corey, or rawkerdude 5012. What's up?
Hello. I am illustrious and doing well. I am gearing up towards vacation, which is next week. I won't be here.
Ooh, I'm going on vacation. I'm actually going to visit your great state here in a few weeks.
Yeah?
What?
Look out for a possum.
Did you lose a bet? Where are you going?
I'm going to Pigeon Forge. I got dragged into Brooks' family's vacation, so...
Don't say dragged.
What did she say? Y'all, let's just pick a random state on this map, and then we'll just go.
I don't think his wife talks like that.
Yeah, she does.
That'd be closer to my wife.
Yeah,
right?
she does.
Because she's from Tennessee.
Also with the bad accents, since I haven't introduced him yet, is L.
What are you talking about? That's a good accent.
And no, my wife does not talk like that.
No, this is how she talks.
Southern.
Can I go change the heaven diaper?
Ow.
Right now!
And yes. Okay, I'd much rather change the poopy diaper than feed the kid.
Well,
I have no
your nipples are too
changing.
hairy.
You'd rather change a diaper than feed a kid.
Yeah,
why not both?
I hate feeding him.
You'd rather deal with the output rather than the input?
Yes. Feeding is the worst because he never stops moving. He just kicks and kicks and kicks. And it takes too long to feed him. No, I'd rather change.
I guess I could see that.
Yeah.
Not to mention, then you got to burp him and he just screams and screams and screams. It's like, Oliver, shut up. He's also 4 months old today.
Aw, happy birthday, buddy.
Which is crazy. But yeah, let's get into the actual show. I'm gonna take a page out of Corey's book. Let's do the good and the bad. What'd you call it? I don't
the
forgot
highs
now.
and the lows.
Highs and the lows. That's it. I had it and lost it. Corey, give me your high.
There's not very many. So yeah, this is the last week.
Well, you guys have just been doing the Star Wars challenge, so you probably don't got a lot of highs. You probably gotten a lot of lows, though.
Yeah, tons of lows. To be honest, the high was probably being able to play 50 years on Windows. So that's the second time I've played the game. But that game was just so fun that I was like done for that session I did. And I said, I'm just going to get one game of 50 years in, and I got to all 50 years, and I only had 2 achievements left, and I was like, it's going to take me like 4 minutes to get the last 2, and it's like, I'm just going to do it. But that game is just so good, and it works well with the mouse over a keyboard, but that was definitely the high of the past week for me, for sure.
I don't think we played the same 50 years.
I completed 50 years, and I did it in 20 minutes. So the lows, like I said, there was just a lot of lows, and I don't even classify things like visual novels and things like that because you
can classify them.
Not when we're playing the way that we are. I'm trying. I'm even having problems like giving a really bad rating to like Evans Remains or something like that because you just skip through everything. So I don't know. Maybe
if it's a visual novel, just give it a half a star.
Maybe Mountain Blade or Pillars of Eternity 2. Both are console command games, and they weren't bad, but you just make you feel dirty. Literally, you click unlock all achievements, and then my phone goes. It's glorious, but.
Well, that sounds fantastic.
It was good in that regard. It was one and done, but yeah.
That's so much better than having input the same input achievement unlocked, blah blah blah, 79 times because you didn't read the walkthrough.
Or even playing the game. Like, I loaded up
Or that.
Smart Moves, and I was like, I just can't do it. This was like it was at the night, the very last night, and I was like, nope. We were ahead and couldn't even do it to myself, so.
All right. Well, Elle, what's your highs and lows?
All right. Well, my low is so low that I'm going to make that my game showcase. So I'm going to hold off on my lowest of the low so we can show some video footage of my lows. One thing that we haven't mentioned yet that goes in the high category is most of us, both Rebels and Empire, took part in Super Bomberman online.
Oh, it's a pirate game.
Basically, if you pay $10, you can get a private server and you can boost to your heart's content. So most of the achievements are easy. You can get most of the game done in a half an hour. There's a mode, Battle 64. It's basically a 64-player battle royale. But if you're in a private server, you could start this game with 5 people.
So you should clarify. It's not really
maybe I'm
a private
wrong.
server.
Okay.
You're kind of right. I don't want to lead people to think that you can rent a private server. It's to host a private lobby, you have to pay for premium. So that goes on that's a specific person, and they have to be the one to host it. So it's little different. It's not like DayZ where we had a server running at all times. Like that person has to be actively involved in helping people if they want.
Okay. So on the Rebel team, both Lego Head and Inigo Montoya ponied up for the $10. And I think Lego was hosting in Euro-friendly times, and Inigo was hosting 24 hours a day. So every time that someone needed, he was there. So there was one testy achievement, which is to ride a game while riding Louis, which is basically this little dragon character. You jump on him, and for whatever reason, it just wouldn't pop. It wouldn't pop. And some people got it by accident, by luck. And eventually we devised a method using the Grand Prix mode and getting all the crystals. We're not sure what actually you're supposed to do, but we achievement hunters are nothing if not stubborn. We did it. Special thanks to Inigo Montoya and also on the Dirty Empire team, Vulgar Latin. He and TG Fireflex made a video which helped out as well. So I would say this game accounted for a lot of people in our community. So yeah, that was definitely one of the highs.
There was a ton of scoring that was going on.
I'm surprised there's not that many people with this game on their tags right now. Only a few thousand.
How much did the game
Yeah,
cost?
I can't boost them all.
The game costs free $99, as you like to say. It's free,
Exactly
right?
what I was looking for.
Yeah. It looks like only 270 completions out of 3165. Now, do you get to keep that? You get to keep that access, right? You don't. It's not like a rental where you pay for a little while.
Yeah. That premium thing is like a one and done. It's yours kind of deal.
Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
I can only imagine people are a little scared because they know the other Super Bomberman R is
maybe
terrible
Super
for achievements.
grindy. Yep.
So, like, I know when we brought it up to
It's not
our
so
group
bad.
on Friday night, I don't know if they had heard about it, and they were like, "Isn't that the super grindy one?" It's like, no, it's quite quick. So,
Well, if you know anybody, not to speak for Inigo, but I'm sure he would help anyone out in the community that needs it. If you need a body, I would help as well.
you're
It's actually-
offering your body.
Yeah, I would offer my body.
I can see it.
And you have to realize this Bomberman, I think I was playing on the NES, and the SNES version was very similar to this. The power-ups were all the same, so it just brought me back. It was a little more 3D.
Did you just say Bomberman was on the NES?
Yes, it was.
Uh-huh.
It's a very old franchise.
I did not. I knew it was old. I didn't realize it was that old.
I didn't know it was as old as dirt.
And what's funny is that every game that came out on the Super Nintendo was called Super this and Super that. So it was called Super Bomberman, but I guess they just kept the title, and everything is Super Bomberman now.
My favorite Bomberman game is I think it was Super Nintendo. It was like a racing game, not even a regular Bomberman game. And apparently, it's a
weird.
pretty rare game these days.
I think I played my first Bomberman on the GameCube. So, yeah, either way, I had no idea it was that old. Nate, how about you? What was your highs and lows?
Ooh,
Hey.
what are my lows? Yeah, my lows would probably be 50 years Win 10, not realizing that there wasn't a title update. So I was doing the extra runs to get like the tier 3 stuff. And I was like, why aren't these popping? Like, what am I doing wrong? And I checked TA, and sure enough, yeah, that update's not out yet. So I wasted time there playing that game. Yeah,
What do you mean?
Dirty. Yeah, felt dirty doing Pillars of Eternity 2, Mountain Blade, and Starbound. Not console commands, but mod command. That felt a little bit dirty, but I gotta say, even those lows were pretty high. Like, it was a good week. Like, tons of scoring, tons of other good stuff going on. Balance a lot. Balance a lot was garbage. That was hot garbage.
Okay. I wanted
to destroy it. I wanted to put my controller in the oven. That's how bad it was. I didn't do that though.
I wish that one made you play longer.
No. By the end of it,
Sounds like you're alone.
I was a little bit better at the controls, and I was kind of understanding them a little bit better. It still took me longer than I'd like to admit, which is about 40 minutes. I don't know. It was late. Whatever.
Balance a lot.
Let's look it up because I know Corey's doing. Oh, it took me 19 minutes. It felt like 30 or 40
It
minutes.
felt like 20.
That's bad.
It felt like at least 20 minutes. It was horrible. So moving on to good stuff or highlights. Let's see. Finally finished Mega Party at Too Tough, which I think is actually pronounced Tidif adventure. And it was not bad doing that last mode that I had to do where you do all 42 mini games was actually not horrible. I was hoping it would stop when I won 22 of them. But that didn't happen. So I had to keep playing, but at that point, it didn't matter if I won or not. Didn't have to have a second controller or anything. The games were just pretty easy and didn't have to worry about it. So that was a fun completion. Let's see what else. Oh yes, we finished the campaign of Zombie Army 4 this week.
Nice.
Which was super cool.
Hey.
Yeah. So now we're going back. We're doing horde modes, and that game is just fun. Hopefully they'll have some sort of a DLC sale. We won't have to worry about that. And also, with the impending news, which I don't think was on the sheet, Human Fall Flat Legacy Win 10. That was not a thing a week ago. It was just called Human Fall Flat on Win 10. Now it's called Legacy because they're going to delist it. Doesn't have online. And so jumped on the,
Rip.
Fear of omission. No, that's not it. Fear of missing out. Basically had to go through and knock that out all pretty much in one go and did it. And that was awesome. So yeah, a lot of good stuff this week. A lot of stuff was
Cool.
achieved.
Well, in my time away, I don't really have any lows because when I've been playing, it's like, I want to play something that I want to play. I'm not in some stupid contest where I have to earn an obscene amount of points in like 10 seconds. So I really only have one high that I'm going to say or mention, and this was kind of take us into the game showcase. You, myself, Prue, and Michelle, we completed Zoo Tycoon. That was a very satisfying completion. We've been working on that for quite a while at this point.
And it was
point.
the
Apparently we've only
ultimate
been
animal
playing like one
edition.
time a day. Oh yes, it's the ultimate animal collection. But yeah, we got that done.
Yeah.
1,500 gamer score, almost 10,000 TA. So the TAD is there for this game.
So how long have you been working on it as a group?
We started it in July. So 10 months?
Well, like I said, we really only play once a week, and there's been weeks where we've taken off. So
July 23rd
it stretched it out.
to May 28th. So yeah, 10 months. Which for us is great. But considering this is...
I love that you have a video for Zoo Tycoon.
Considering, like you said, this game's almost 10,000 TA, and it's in all of our... I'm pretty sure it's in all of our top 10 completions as far as that's concerned, if not
Oh,
top
for
5,
sure.
top 1.
Yeah, the last achievement that you we unlocked is the Here Comes a New Challenger. It's an 11.25 ratio, so the TAD is great on this one. I know, well, my stats are skewed because I played this a bunch by myself while I was working on it, and then I wound up replaying some of it to help them. But I put 90 hours into the game. I think Prue, who started fresh, had 61 hours or something like that. Something close to that. Like, he had far fewer than me. I quote-unquote wasted time.
I mean, mine says 79 hours.
I think you and Michelle have put a little bit of time in it before the four of us went at it. Because I remember you guys playing it a little bit. Had some progress.
A lot of trial and error, a lot of figuring stuff out. We wound up getting a strange little snafu on our last day.
Yes. Yeah, our last day, the game was just like, oh, I see you want to complete this. F you. No, you're not allowed. And like we had Prue, Prue's fancy Series X once it keeps crashing on him. My VCR Xbox One was fine the entire time. I'm just going to point that out. I never crashed.
Right. So basically the big cheese that you can do in this game or shortcut is instead of waiting for all the levels to adopt all the animals, you make a sandbox zoo and you can adopt whatever you want, and then you donate them to your friends so then they can just take them at any time. So that's how you save several hours. And and the last time we played, for some reason, Michelle wound up with all of them and we didn't have our animals. So just took a little time. And then, unfortunately, the quality of life is not all there. Your friends list is in a random order when you try to send stuff. When you try to party up, it's terrible. The animals are in random order. It's a fun game, but it could have been helped with some of this quality of life stuff.
Yeah, there's a few things that could have made this a lot better. And the crazy thing is, this game has more quality of life issues or add-ons.
Enhancements.
Enhancements, yeah, that's a better word. This has more than the regular Zoo Tycoon does. Like, there's so many quality of life things that have been added to this. So I now have 2 out of 3 Zoo Tycoons complete, so now I'm very tempted to go get Zoo Tycoon on the 360 so I can have that series completion. Minus, obviously, the Win 8 ones because, they're dead.
They are dead.
But yeah, that was Zoo Tycoon. We got that complete. That was fantastic completion. Super satisfying. Like I said, that takes us into the game showcase. So let's start it back in the order. Corey, what game do you want to show off this week?
Yes, so I am just going to
what are you doing?
Talk about. I'm pressing too many buttons. That's what I'm doing.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm going to talk about a game that I thought I would really enjoy. And Kingsman just joined us in chat, I can tell, and he may disagree with me because he was very high up on this game's completion list. And the game I'm talking about is Just Die Already. So if you remember from a few weeks ago, I was pretty excited for it. It's kind of like, this is their words, old person simulator kind of deal. And it's made by the same people who did, I don't know if it's the same people, but it's definitely in the Goat Simulator type of family. It's an old person simulator, and it's very wacky. And I think there's a story. I've only played an hour or two, and you get kicked out of a retirement home, and you just get this bucket list of things to do. So you go around, you explore different areas, and you can easily lose limbs. You can become nothing but a head rolling around. And
what?
Yeah, that's where the Goat Simulator stuff comes in. The physics and how you move is it's not really crazy how you move, but you could accidentally hit a door, there goes your arm, so you can't hold anything anymore until you respawn. And you respawn in dumpsters. By the way, an old person popping out of a dumpster is pretty funny. Yeah,
makes sense.
That's like Sunset Overdrive.
Yeah, and the whole gist of the game is just doing this bucket list. So it's just different objectives I don't know. I feel like I haven't played it enough to really talk so bad about it, but I didn't have a ton of fun playing it. Like, there's a ton of weapons that you can grab, ranged and like melee, and some of the objectives are pretty obtuse, or you have to figure them out for yourselves, which I guess is where the fun of the game is. But I think I had my fill after, like an hour. I'm like, okay, this is fine. But I don't see myself like sitting down and playing it a ton personally. Some people I could see loving it. Now, where the game originally also grabbed my attention, because I didn't know it was kind of like this checklist type game, is that it had co-op, online co-op at that. And I thought it would be fun to do whatever co-op modes that they had. Well, at least at launch right now, they only have the single player and then a co-op version of the single player. You essentially load into the game and you have your bucket list, and there are just other people on the map. And if you play a random game, like I tried out, it's basically like playing Human Fall Flat, but somebody's holding on to you the entire time. Like, it's just full of trolls. That's all that the online is.
Oh, yeah.
So if I get some buddies, you can legitimately probably have a decent time and figure out some of these objectives. Some of them seem to require multiple people, or at least they're going to be vastly helpful to have multiple people. And that progress is carried over, at least from my experience. So that's a plus. It does seem like they have a update coming out very, very soon that adds new modes for co-op or PvP or whatever it is that they're doing. So I'm excited to see those. Maybe that is something that will kind of bring me into the game a little bit more. But otherwise, I think that you would probably have a frustrating time just trying to like get done, like do the achievements, going around and just, stealing your buddy's arm. They think could get old after a little while. But the game looks fun, and it's kind of, it's just humorous, of course.
Yeah, this video is wild.
Yeah, I think I might have hyped myself up too much for it, but yeah, it's kind of like just a sandboxy land that you're an old person in, and you can see the Goat Simulator vibes. It's not so wacky,
very much,
but
so.
It's pretty wacky.
And there's a lot of blood.
Yeah, I think I was way too psyched for this, because when I played it, it was just
it's kind of
disappointment. Yeah, it was instant disappointment. Like, oh, I was hoping that I wasn't so fragile.
Right? Yeah, you
you're
lose
old.
stuff very easily.
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to open
You're
the door
old.
and my arm came off.
You're only so fragile.
Yeah, Kingsman's telling me that there are some doors, because it's not Metroidvania, but some doors are locked, and like they require you to have a certain limbs removed, and it could be rather difficult to do that by yourself. So having a friend just shoot off that specific limb might be helpful. So if you have a buddy, maybe it's worth having a decent time with. But I think it is going to garnish several hours worth of your time for the completion. Only 5 people have completed it, which is way more than I would have thought. Kingsman, he was actually the third, it looks like. He did it in almost 40 hours. The
Dang.
closest, or the quickest I'm seeing is 14 and a half hours, but he could have been following along with a friend, who knows. But yeah, it's kind of luckily it's not too expensive, $15. So I think it's one of those things that it'll be on sale for like $7.50 here soon, and you might have a decent little time with it if you have a group.
Doesn't look awful.
Yeah, like I said, I'm looking forward to the co-op modes that they're adding. But right now, I can wait for that, because otherwise, I don't have a lot of interest in it anymore, unfortunately.
All right. Well, in that case, let's go to L. What do you want to showcase this week?
Well, during this contest, we definitely played a lot of crap, but I never played a game so bad that it just had the worst first impression of a game I've ever had. This beauty even has a title that I can't even say. We'll say achalasia, like it's some sort of disease or something. I wish I had amnesia and didn't remember this game. It is so freaking bad. I'm trying not to curse here, but holy my, it was so bad. So it's a platformer.
I've never heard you say that.
It's by our good friends at Victory Road. The achievement list is straightforward. You just have to beat the first 11 levels, so that's one positive going for it. There are more than 11 levels. We'll get the positives out of the way, and there are not very many. Each of the levels has different music, which I thought was cool, because a lot of these games has one track over and over, such as like Pink Man and like Infester. Good songs, but you hear them the whole time you're playing. This at least changed it up a little. So right away, you're going to play video because I want to narrate some of the stuff. This is insane. So basically, oh, here we go. So look, you're attacking this guy, and look, he just disappears. There's no death animation. And then there you go. I'm shooting this bad guy, and look, he just disappeared. Oh my God, what just happened? And if you're listening to the podcast, what happened was I fell through the floor, and that was my first time playing the game. And I just turned it off and did not play it until the next day. I basically just had to play it and see what happened. So I went through all the 11 level, easy for me to say. I went through the 11 levels, and at the last level, there are arrows pointing towards the exit. And like a dope, I went the other way because that's the gamer instinct, is to go the wrong way and explore. Even though I played the 10 levels and there's nothing to explore in this game. And once again, I fell through the floor. So I had to do the whole last level over again.
I guess you've never played a Bethesda game. That's just normal. See, that doesn't
that should not be normal. It is bad.
I mean, you're not wrong. It shouldn't be normal.
And from there, you couldn't even pause it and quit. You had to dashboard. It was just really bad.
I played this. I didn't have anything like falling out. I was just more frustrated with the platforming. It's not good platforming.
Well, right away, I think the second or third stage, you get these 1 pixel platforms that you have to jump on.
Mm-hmm.
And then another of the levels is, I think Koosh coined the phrase last week. He basically called it the floor is lava. And you basically have to jump up and avoid the floor as raising. So that level was kind of annoying.
One thing that it does that it really annoys me is that it's a big platforming no-no, but if you like continuously run and jump on platforms, you should be able to continuously run and jump. I could not do that in here without dying. Like, you have to land and stop and then go. Mm-hmm. It seemed like every time like you were to hold run and then land and try to jump immediately, the jump input is just eaten and doesn't do that, and then you die.
Wow.
Yeah. One funny thing.
Yeah, this does not look good whatsoever.
Yeah, you probably didn't stop and bother talking to the people, right, Corey?
Oh, no.
Well, actually, there is a reason to talk to people. You actually get ammo and health from them sometimes. So,
I didn't know you could run out of ammo.
Yeah, totally you can't. Yeah, it wasn't really an issue. Occasionally you run out of ammo and you just melee them to death. You can pick up, it's a health container you pick up. And yeah, so the first guy you talk to, he's like, so are you the hero to save the day? And he goes, no, I'm not the hero. I'm just here for treasures. So at least you're honest. So that was a little humorous, but the story was nothing to speak of. Poor spelling, poor grammar, poor graphics, poor game design. Don't play this game.
Poor everything.
This Gamerscore is not worth your soul.
Oh, the graphics don't look bad to me. It does bother me that the ladders don't constrain you on the sides, and you can just kind of like wiggle as you go up them.
Another platforming faux pas.
Yeah,
look, you look like a peanut when you're on the ladder. It's just bad.
Yeah, but I mean, just the level art looks good. The character art looks okay.
You have very low standards, my friend.
That's too bad. Yeah. Well, no, I'm not. No.
Oh, he definitely does.
I haven't played it. This looks okay to me.
Yeah,
but,
there are worse looking games, yes, but I'm just very mad at it.
Another thing it does differently
is
that you not only do you have to get from point A to point B, you have to collect these crystals that are hidden throughout the level, so you can actually go the complete wrong way and waste like 5 to 10 minutes, especially if you keep dying over and over. You're going to waste a lot more than that, just to try to find out where to go so the exit will open up. And that's kind of annoying. I think the video says you can just sit there and it will show you kind of the direction to go, but it's still so bad.
Yeah, Michelle just said that she started a game, played 30 seconds, and noped out of there.
Yes, I'm sorry to reference the video, but you just paper thin.
I would rather play Hellbreachers. Koosh.
Oh my!
I would too. Look at that. He just falls off the ladder. All right. Go on to something else. My heart hurts.
All right. Well, in that case,
I got good games I could talk
Nate,
about.
save us.
But oh no, not the boss level. Thank you.
Nate, save us.
Nate.
Sure, I'll talk
Save
about
us,
a good
Nate.
game. Actually, looks good.
You're my only hope.
Actually, plays well. Game I would like to talk about that I played a bit this week was one that I recommended a week or two ago. Shady Part of Me. Now, this game is kind of a puzzler. I would say it's more of a puzzler than it is. There's a little bit of platforming to it, but the platforming is not that bad. For the most part, it's kind of order of operations. How do I get this?
Oh, this is totally.
How do I get over there? Oh yeah, I mean, just look at this. This is beautiful.
Oh yeah.
I just look at the
This is
art. It's like,
beautiful.
oh yeah,
This
this screams Nate.
See, look.
Yeah.
This
So-
is actually a
and-
pretty looking game.
And the main levels are not as pretty as the intro level. I don't want to watch this video because I was not able to get that origami bird, and I don't want to know how to do it until I can do it myself.
That was just a
So
bad
the
You're
part of
playing
the
it
video.
real.
Yes,
That's the way
there's
you
a
do
good
it.
Part of the video,
I'm
which-
gonna go back, make it earlier.
So there is an intro that you play, and the intro part of this game is gorgeous. It really looks like a watercolor painting that you're just moving on, and you're just learning the basic controls. And that's where you first learn about these origami birds that you're going to be picking up, and you are introduced to your shadow. The game basically has two different tracks running at the same time. There's the main level that your human girl is traversing, and she can interact with things that are on that level. So switches, and she can only stay in shadow. If she is in light, she gets caught, she freaks out, and that's basically the end of her move. Well, good thing is, if you make a mistake or you paint yourself into a corner, there's a rewind time feature. And so you just hold right trigger and time rewinds, and your actions kind of backtrack so far until you're in a safe spot, and then you can then try again. Your shadow runs kind of like contrast. So in contrast, if you remember that, you were a person who could morph into a shadow on the wall and run along the shadows and then use the shadows as your platforming. Well, that's what your shadow does, although your shadow can't pop in and out of that. It's basically just always against the shadow. Sometimes that shadow is on the wall. Sometimes something cool happens and a light source changes, and all of a sudden the shadows go from the wall to the floor, and you can kind of do both. So it's very cool ways that they change everything up as you go through. Some of the origami birds that you're capturing are shadow origamis, and some of them are actual paper origamis. Like if you're watching the video now, you're going to see the shadow is going to grab one. You can't really see it in the real world. You have jumping puzzles. When you're the shadow, your human girl cannot jump, so she's basically just running around and manipulating objects in the environment. Sometimes she's pushing boxes, and sometimes those boxes can be affected by two different light sources. There's like a light source way behind you, and then there's like a really intense light source closer to the wall. So you can do cool things like, I don't want to give away any puzzles, but you have to figure out how you're going to cancel out shadows with certain lights and things like that. And kind of just, like I was saying, order of operations. How am I going to move this to get this person, my shadow, to be able to climb these objects that she can't quite reach? To eventually get to this point. You have to watch out for thorns. There's thorn shadows that will hurt her. And like I said, you have to do a little bit of platforming. And you can switch between them at any time by pressing Y for the most part. Every now and then there's a little cutscene or whatever where you have to, or a small section where you have to go as one or the other. And I have played through the intro, and I've played through the first area. I think they call them acts. So I played through the intro act and then the actual first act. And there are 4 acts, 4 proper acts. Or is it 5? No, there's 4. Okay, so there's 4 acts and the intro. So you have 5 basic levels you have to go through. The achievements are for completing those and for finding all the origami birds in those levels. Each one that you find corresponds to a puzzle piece that gives you a piece of artwork at the end of each level too, which is which is, nice. I like it's good looking artwork. I mean, if you're looking at this game or you're following along in the live stream, you're seeing how beautiful this thing is. This is a neat game. Sometimes, like I said, you're moving, you're jumping. Sometimes the environment moves based on where you are on the screen. So if you progress to the right, something happens, like a train will move, and then the shadow that the train is casting will affect the background and your shadow girl, how she can move. Other times you're moving and let's say a planetarium light is changing, and that changes the properties of the background where the shadow can move and all that. All kinds of cool ideas on how to puzzle your way through 2 different sets of platforming.
This looks really cool.
It's a really cool game. I really like this game. The estimates on TA say 4 to 5 hours. I think that's balderdash. I am currently sitting at 3.5 hours. Now, mind you, I've been getting assistance for my 7-year-old. So a lot of the time, we have to sit and watch or do this or do that and just kind of play with the trains. It's kind of fun. But still, I think it's probably taken me a good 2 hours to get through the intro and the first area, if not 3. But then again,
how many areas did you say there was?
There are 5 areas total. There's 4 proper acts, and then there's that intro act that you go through, which isn't short. There's a little bit of meat to it, not a whole lot, but the very first level, I was actually kind of surprised that it kept going. When I finally got to the end of Act 1, I was like, wow, that took a long time. How many acts are there? It's like, I have 3 more acts to do after this. This is a lengthy game. Now, mind you, I haven't gotten very far into this. The game's a little bit dark. It's funny. Some of the narration or some of the story being told is done through text on the walls. And as you're moving through the level, that text changes. That's something I love. It's like, I always love that about Fringe. Like Fringe when it was starting, like you see the new episode, like they've just got like these sky letters and all sorts of cool stuff like wrapping around corners. Well, they do that kind of text here. And this is just a super cool, stylish game that just totally resonates with me.
I'm enjoying just watching.
Yeah.
This video.
Yeah, super cool game. It's $15 now. It was on sale before, I think, for 10 or 12. So when this hits the right price, I definitely recommend you check it out and figure out what that price point is, because this game it's a real joy. So it's a little bit depressing. That's one of the problems I've been having with my daughter playing. And like she's reading like some of these things, and I'm like, oh, do I want to pay the therapy bill, or do I want to actually talk about this? I don't really. So I get a little concerned with the content for a younger audience. I wish I could kind of turn that stuff off and just let it be whatever. But she's to the point now where she's reading this stuff, and I'm like, well, it's pretty heavy stuff they're talking about. I believe that the girl that, right now you're kind of seeing in this level, you're seeing a whole bunch of like playroom stuff, all kinds of fun, cheery balls and planes and trains and teddy bears and such. It goes right from that to a hospital, and it's like a psychiatric ward. It gets dark. And it's stuff I would rather not explain to my daughter right now. But so I don't really know where it's going. I hope it comes out nice, but with a title like Shady Part of Me, I'm thinking there's going to be some more dark to it. But yeah, I cannot recommend this enough. I really like it. It's perfect for me.
Yeah. MDP in chat says that this is the best game he's played all year. Also says that it took him 9 hours for the completion. So
okay, yeah.
Well, he plays
like
legit.
Take that for what it is.
He said,
he probably played legit.
He said anyone who's a fan of puzzle games or platformers should check it out. I'm trying to think of what it reminded me of. Maybe Contrast? Was Contrast a little bit like that?
Yeah. Yep.
Shadows, jumping on the shadows.
Yeah, I would definitely use Contrast as something that I would talk about when I talk about this game.
And, Nate definitely did not just say
that. And also, it definitely reminded me of Contrast for 360, the stack.
Oh, that's a very interesting theory.
That was a contrast of styles.
Yes, yeah.
And also that
part
part you showed with the cards reminded me of Alice in Wonderland. It looks like it was inspired by that.
Yeah, I would say the platforming isn't very challenging, and it is mostly at this point just about moving blocks around. The jumping wasn't so, crazy. But you're moving platforms, so I guess that is kind of platforming, I guess. But yeah, a Shady Part of Me. Really like it. Really recommend it that you check it out.
definitely. That looks really good. Let's see. Who hasn't gone yet? I've lost track.
Everybody's gone.
Everybody's gone.
I'll keep going.
Loop it again. Loop it
I
again.
like games. I like games.
All right, L. You can go. You got one more chance. What's the other game you want to showcase?
I don't know. What I should have done if I was smart is say a Bomberman for this section, but I'm not smart.
I could have told you that.
I was going to talk about Balance a lot, but Koosh already did. It took me a lot longer than it took him, apparently. It took me like almost a half an hour.
Like 22 minutes.
There was there was one checkpoint I kept dying over and over and over at the end of the stupid tutorial. The tutorial's supposed to be easy. Oh.
All right, Cuphead.
I was actually going to give a shout out to East Asia Soft, who is quickly becoming one of my favorite companies. I tend to like their easy games. Yeah.
Really? Of all the companies, all the developers and publishers.
Null Drifter, which I hadn't played before.
You liked that?
Yeah, because last week I played the Void Gore game. It was like that one. You just keep getting better and better. Yeah, I had fun with that.
Am I thinking of the wrong? Hold on. Let me make sure I'm not thinking.
You're
of the
thinking
wrong
Signal, not Null Drifter.
I think I'm thinking Null Drifter.
And
hold up, let me look this up.
And it's interesting when you play that game. They name the pilots from Project Starship, which is
you pay attention enough to these games?
When you play them back to back, you're like, oh, I know that game. It's
I knew that too.
What?
Yeah, Null Drifter was awful. I hated this one.
All right, we'll play Project Starship X. I played co-op with my son, actually, so that was a lot of fun. You could play 2 players.
I like Project Starship.
Yeah, you got to play Project Starship X is different. The 2-player...
Okay, I'm taking this off. There's an epilepsy warning here. I didn't mind this one. I like that it's kind of like roguelite-ish. You just get money to upgrade, and then as soon as you cross that threshold, it's like the game you're done. Well, exactly. I think you had to get to like level 6.
I hated that game.
Yeah. I think you had to get to level 6 or something.
Yeah. When I finally got to level 6, I got to level 9 on the same run. So once you get powerful enough, it's quite easy. And I got the shotgun, and it was pretty OP.
So you're saying if you were stuck on a desert island with a catalog of rats or a catalog of East Asia Softs, you would pick East Asia Soft?
Well, rats. There's more rats. But I'm just saying I'm liking the East Asia Soft games lately. That's what I'm saying.
East Asia Softs typically are pretty decent. All right,
the platformers are all terrible.
At the Twitch chat, I must be the only one that didn't like Null Drifter.
I can't forgive them for Hellbreachers or Skate Master Chaco. and Grizzland. Oh,
all right. Like I said, their platformers.
Grizzland, come on.
What was that other one that you didn't like?
Grizzland was awful, dude.
They have Terratopia though, right. So I do like that.
Yeah.
Full Blast was good.
Drunken Fist was terrible. They did that.
I think you liked Void Gore, didn't you?
I like Void Gore.
And they've got the Broxias.
Oh, and I still have to do Red Death.
I don't know.
Red Death was pretty good. I like that. I thought Project Starship and Red Death was good. I enjoyed both of them.
It's like they have like 1 out of 3 or 1 out of 4 is like decent.
That's very high.
These out here.
That's like 50%.
That is a good question, though.
That's why I like the Tony. I like the Chaos.
Desert Island.
That's
Publisher.
also why I like Project Starship.
They don't do platforming as well. I would have to go Ratalaika.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm in a shoot 'em up mood, East Asia Soft, because that's all they do.
I do like this question. I do like this Desert Island question, though.
And Mental Night Poet mentioned that in the chat, so give him credit.
That's such a Mental Night thing.
I forgot about that. East Asia Soft also did Ira Hero. Ira Hero House.
That was like one of the originals. One of the OGs.
Yeah, I forgot they did that. And I loved that. I thought that was great. That was another one of those easy completions where I wish the achievements had you play it longer.
Yeah, I just think Ratalaika has a better variety. I'd have to go with them.
Speaking of which, Kenny, I played Loot Hero DX. That game was fun, but you didn't really do much except walk left and right. You guys play this fun game?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You go right,
And you would go right.
Hit him
and
in
you
the
go left.
head.
You go right until you can't, and then you go
No,
left.
you don't go left.
And then you go right again.
You can go left, or you can do the beginning stages over and over.
What was
Yeah.
it? Punch him in the face, maybe?
Punch
You know,
him in the face.
Elroy did a thing on this.
Yeah, he certainly
Over
did.
and over and over and over and over and over.
Left for EXP, right for progress.
I think that's one of the lowest TA games on the site, 1004. That was an easy one.
Well, can't get much lower than that.
Actually, you can. I'm pretty sure. One of the new East Asia softs. I'm checking now because I could be talking out of my butt. 1003, 1 point lower. Crime Opera, the butterfly effect.
I said you can't get
Oh.
much lower. I know you can get lower, clearly.
was a-
I know how numbers work.
Like this one may be the new low. I'm checking the language of love right now, but yeah, we're getting consistently
Language of
lower.
Love is good.
Language
It
of
Language
at
of
least was
Love is
merciful.
1010. It is
was merciful.
technically harder.
Crime Opera, you had to say no a bunch of times, though. Language of Love, you could just go straight through.
Yeah.
Those
It
are
would read
those
itself
visual
to
novels
you.
are hard. Yeah. So everyone who doesn't know why we're talking about all these easy games, we did this crazy Gamerscore competition, the Rebels versus the Empire and Star Wars, and I know in a week or two, I'm sure Chewie's going to give an elaborate stat rundown, but this is why we have a lot of easy games to talk about. Little bit of a humble brag myself. I had my best ever Gamerscore day, May 31st. Actually, May 30th and May 31st were my two top Gamerscore game days of all time. No thanks in part to Surviving Mars. I definitely did not do any console commands.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Nothing. I did.
It totally was a console
No,
commands, right?
no. It wasn't console commands. It was mods. Those are fine.
All right, fine.
Although I did do Don't Starve, which was console commands. Damn it. Those are admin commands?
Yeah, I'll share a similar story. May 31st was my best day ever as well. Just
Oh.
over 17,000 gamer score,
Nice.
1.08 ratio.
Nice.
It was
You
just like
beat my butt.
hit
Yeah,
after hit.
I had 12,000 on May 30th and like 9,000 on May
That
31st.
is ridiculous.
Which is funny because I had 50 some on thousand of the month, and which normally would be a lot, but some of these guys had over 100,000 in the month, if not 150. I'm not going to
It's
name any names right
ridiculous.
now. I'll save that for Chewie.
That is
But-
ridiculous.
Everyone did amazing, and I'm ready to
Because
settle.
May 31st was my best day, too.
Oh,
What a coinky dink.
what did you do? Thanks, Sidalon.
13,000 gamer score, 14,000 TA. So neat.
Hey, look, it was Folks. May 31st was Folks' best day ever, also.
Weird.
How'd that happen? Instead of barbecues, we played games? No, I had a barbecue.
out of that 17,000 gamer score,
I
I
had a
bet I
barbecue.
did 15,000 before 8:30, 9 a.m.
The hell.
Yeah.
Newcomer Kamikisu asks if we were able to play and finish Smart Moves before the F9 exploit was patched. I actually I actually played that game legit, and I didn't hate it. I was going to mention this last week. Corey's not going to agree, but I don't know. There's something relaxing about it. I didn't finish it yet. Those totems can suck it, but it wasn't that bad.
Yeah. On May 31st, my best day ever, that night, I loaded it up, like I said earlier, and I just couldn't even get myself to play it at that point. But I did have access to it before May and knew about the glitch and knew it was getting patched. But I was like, oh, that's easy points for the contest. I got to hold off on it. And, you know, if Hindsight Lad was around, he would beat my butt. But
You would beat your butt,
yeah,
butt.
missed that one. Yep. Hindsight Lad is a real Marvel character, by the way.
Oh, really? What
Oh,
year
yeah.
did he come out?
I've never
2020.
heard of
19.
Oh, come on. Joke was right there.
1932 probably or something crazy old.
The joke was
He
right.
was looking for 2020, everybody. He was looking for 2020.
But I am surprised that Smart Moves doesn't have one of those guides, kind of like Signal, where you go up, up, left, right, left, up, down. Because I'm not going to follow a video for that. I would read it and do it, but I don't know. I'm surprised one of those doesn't exist yet.
Goodness gracious.
You did offer some. I
some.
was going to say you did offer some good advice last week when you said to check the forums for text walkthroughs of some of these games. It was a good one for Signal.
Yes, somebody else said that. I don't want to take
It was an
credit for
ego.
that.
It was an ego.
It was an ego. I did a little different, and I just Googled the game name and walkthrough. And some of these other sites do put image walkthroughs out there, and some of them are way, way better. I think I did one called Grabifier. I don't know. I looked at this game twice, and I'd already completed it. And I just forget about these games. I looked at Starbound when you mentioned it, Koosh. I was like, oh, I did that, I guess. You just forget about it. It's so bad. But there was another one as well. And it's just so much easier and better to look at an image, look at this screen, look at this screen, look at that screen. Instead of having to watch a video, pause it, most likely, and go back. Like even on visual novels, I swear they edit their videos to take out some silence times, and then what ends up happening is you get off the sync, and then you have to pause it and catch back up, and it's so like, ugh, I just hate it.
Yeah, we're in Twitch chat. J Black, Michelle, Ignito, MDP, everyone. All of their like top 5 best days were in May because y'all just went off this month.
Well,
I can't wait to hear Chewie's wrap up on this.
I can't wait until podcast after this when Milestones is back to normal.
That would be nice.
Dude, for reals though, the milestone trying to get them all is bonkers. There's so many.
Quick hot take before we move on, because I know we're about to move on. If you're a guide maker and you say that it's a 20-minute completion, but at the very end of your video you say, now you just watch the credits for 5 minutes, I'm going to cut it here, and your video is 20 minutes long, that doesn't mean the completion is 20 minutes. And I'm going to be mad at you. Just going to say that.
Who did that? Call him out.
Downvote.
No, can't do it. Not that kind of guy.
Come on, do it.
Nope. Moving on to sales.
Hey,
we have some
why are
easy
we so
games
weak?
on sale this week.
Fine. We'll move on to sales. Since Corey doesn't want to put anybody on blast.
No shade throwing.
Oh, we don't want to fight about text versus video guides?
No, we all
No,
agreed text was
no.
better.
Oh,
So,
thank you. I agree.
100%. 100%.
All right. Yeah, it was simple. Sales. Yes, I'm going to go first as I got one. And we have mentioned this before, but Coffee Crisis is on sale. This is a really cool, fun beat 'em up. It usually $20, $1.64 right now. So cheap. We talked about this long time ago. It's a lot of fun, but yes, like Al said, it is very, very difficult. There are over 600 people have started the game, and only 3 have actually been able to get like the hardest difficulties done. It's a very, very difficult beat 'em up. It's all about metal. If you like metal, you like metal music, just ripping guitar solos and everything, you will love the soundtrack. That's one of the things that really grabbed my attention with the game. But if you don't care about the completion and you like beat 'em ups, I highly recommend this, especially for $1.64. It's so cheap. It's a great game. Nate, what do you got?
I thought I would do something a little different this week because the sales weren't fantastic for me. Thought I would just highlight some games that are different. So Do Not Feed the Monkeys, $9.36. You know, the typical $9.36, down from $12.50. Not a huge sale, but this is a adventure / point and click, and there's a review on TA, which I like the intro. I'll go ahead and read that. Do Not Feed the Monkeys is a point-and-click adventure game in which you are a member of a secret society that has access to various camera feeds across the world. You are supposed to use these live feeds to study the behavior of various subjects or monkeys, not actual monkeys, mind you, but unsuspecting people. One important rule of this program is do not feed the monkeys, or in other words, do not interact with the subjects, but what fun is that? It just looks different. This is a game where you're going to, there's just a lot of stuff going on the screen at the same time. You've got kind of picture in picture, and you've just got different activities you're doing. I guess you're looking at journals and things, and I don't know. It just looked really interesting, and if you're looking for something different, maybe you want to check this out.
This is definitely different.
It's definitely different. I don't know if it's for
I
me,
played
but
it, just so you know.
Oh no. Oh no.
I think, did you stream it?
I did stream it. It's a very involved game.
Mhm.
I'm not going to say it's bad. It's just too much for me personally, because not only do you have to manage that stuff, and you have to manage like times because certain events happen at certain times. So you have to watch the clock. You also have to manage this part I didn't like. You had to manage your sleep and your health. And like at that point, I was like, no, that's just too much. Why do I need to do that? But otherwise,
See,
the
now
game's
that sounds
pretty
interesting
funny.
to me.
Well, other than that, the game's pretty funny and pretty interesting because you do have to keep track of these different feeds. And as you go on through the game, you get more and more feeds, more and more people to watch. And like I think I'm going to look at a YouTube video just to see like some kind of hidden ending or any ending, because I don't think I even finished one playthrough necessarily. But it's very interesting. A lot of things to keep track of, though.
Yeah, well, you mentioned all those things you have to keep track of. That's one of the things that puts me off of survival games. I hate having to think about drinking and sleeping in a game and warmth. That's just not, it doesn't interest me. But, might interest some people. Like I said, this one seems out of the norm. That's kind of my theme. The other game I wanted to mention is Please Don't Touch Anything. $5 down from 10. It's a puzzle game. It looks like it's more of an escape roomish type game. Now, Matriarch was on the show. I can't remember the exact episode. And she talked about this some.
It's been a while ago.
Yeah, it was a while ago. But I think back then I was interested. And, price isn't bad. It's half off. She did say that it was, definitely an involved puzzler. So you kind of have to, really pay attention to what's going on in there. It's kind of, I don't want to say dense, but you need to pay attention. And there were 2 achievements that were a little bit annoying. But other than that, like I said, the theme this week for me is different. And this looks different. It's not a shmup. It's not a Metroidvania. So check them out.
Mental Knight says you pick 2 games that are commands. Please don't touch
They're
anything.
What?
It's like my first date.
Oh, yes. Commands, yeah.
And do not feed the monkeys. Hey, I have a couple of easy games to recommend. The first one is one of my favorite Ratalaika games, Nightin Plus, which for some reason is normally $6. It is $3. I would grab that one. And there was one East Asia Soft game that we didn't mention called Task Force Campus. I have not played that one. Have you, Corey? I'm guessing you have, since you love those games. That one is $3.50.
I have. I don't remember it at all.
It's $3.59 down from $5.99. So I'm guessing.
I was looking at that the other day.
I'm guessing that's good enough to nab.
I keep thinking it's Krampus.
What do you think about the East Asia Soft achievement? The way they do their achievements with the 1, 2, 3, like that seems to be a common thing that they do in all their games.
I like it. It makes it easy.
Yeah. It definitely gives it its own like branding. Like, what does that make sense? Like,
You know exactly what you have to do.
yeah.
Oh, I got level 2, so I know I need to keep doing more of this, and I'll get level 3. Then I can move on to whatever the next
I don't know. I like it too.
achievement is. Well,
All right, Corey, your turn.
I assume you have. Okay, and here I thought he had more than that.
So I'm going to recommend a game called Trover Saves the Universe. This was reminded to me that it was on sale yesterday when they went live. This is a game. I don't think it's set in the Rick and Morty universe, but it's by those creators. I don't even think that you need to have ever watched Rick and Morty or like the show. I think if you do, it helps. But the game is just
Same
funny.
humor.
The game is just funny. It's fun, and it's worth your time. I think it's like $10 this week. So it's a good sale. It doesn't go on sale too often either, but you are, I guess, Trover, and you're saving the universe. I can't really remember what happens at this point, but there's twists
You save the universe.
and upgrades, and I don't think it's a Metroidvania. I don't know if you would ever classify it as that. I don't think there's any backtracking. I played this at launch. It's been a long while, but you can definitely tell the game was meant for VR. That's where it launched, and I'm so glad that it came to console. It's just a really fun time. There are a couple of annoying achievements that shouldn't put you off from experiencing the game. If you like humor in your games. So yeah, I would recommend Trover Saves the Universe.
Yeah, I remember you talking about this when it first came out.
Yeah, like I like Rick and Morty.
Liked it back then.
I'm like a die-hard fan. I haven't even seen every episode, but I know that the humor is in my wheelhouse, and so I had to get the game when they came out, and I'm glad I did. Very fun. It's my type of humor. I guess you have to be okay with like these cute little bitty creatures, and then all of a sudden they eat each other. It's kind of that kind of funny humor, and there's blood and stuff. It's kind of gory, but it's funny gory.
It's also cartoonish, so it's not like awful. Moving on, if you don't want to buy anything, Games with Gold. 2 games that are now live that you can download. The King's Bird. It's available until the end of the month. I know nothing about this game. That's the Xbox One game. And then on the Xbox 360 side, available till the 15th, is Neo Geo Battle Coliseum.
Yeah, that's what we want.
Anybody have anything to say on these other than, hey, cool, they're free?
Kingsbird is 6 to 8 hours and people are completing it, so that one looks fun.
So it doesn't sound like you guys have played
I
these.
think.
I have not.
What was the other Xbox One Games with Gold?
Kingsbird.
No, the other one.
Shadows Awakening.
Yeah, Shadows Awakening.
Wasn't there one where there was some...
But that's available on the 16th, so that's not available yet.
Okay. Yeah, that one has 2 partly discontinued, unobtainable... obtainable. I can't talk today. Don't play it.
So you're saying the advertising where you can have 3,200 Gamerscore is incorrect once again?
Yes, it is.
Microsoft wouldn't lie to us.
That
They
is
didn't
true.
do their homework.
Well, I hope you get Injustice this week, in a couple weeks, Kenny, because it's free. Oh wait, you
So
bought it
good.
last week, didn't
Oh.
you?
It's so stupid.
Oh, weird.
I saw that. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. I just bought that stupid game in here. Now it's Games of Gold.
After we determined it was free a year ago, you bought it when it was on sale, and then now it's free again.
Dumb. That's my luck.
So thank you. Thank you for that.
Yes, y'all are welcome. You got Injustice for free if you didn't already have it. Continue on Game Pass. We got a couple of games that are getting added. Available today on the cloud, The Wild at Heart. Available on console and cloud June 3rd, For Honor. So when this podcast drops. And available on PC June 8th is Backbone. And I scroll down with the page break. Then yet available June 10th on cloud, console, and PC is Darkest Dungeon. That's what's coming. And then along with that, we have a couple of games that are leaving. Get these done if you need to. They're all leaving June 15th. Ace Combat 7 on the console. Night Call on the cloud, console, and PC. West of Dead on the cloud, console, and PC. Wizard of Legend, cloud, console, and PC. And Observation on the cloud, console, and PC. I know at least Nate liked West of Dead.
And it's a stack. So that's an Xbox list and a PC list. And no cross
There you
save,
go.
so you're going to have to play it twice. Which is fine, because it's a good game.
Yep. But that's the Game Pass news. Corey, what's coming real soon?
I'm glad you asked. I'm just kidding. I'm not playing that again
Aww.
this week.
Roll
Plug
that
it in.
beautiful bean footage.
Coming real soon, Tuesday, June 8th. So we have it. Some real big hitters. Worms Rumble, the Battle Royale featuring Worms. 32 players on a single screen. I would play this. So I don't think it's going to be free, though. That remains to be seen. However, it could be Game Pass. It very likely could, knowing the publisher team at 17. So fingers crossed for that.
Oh, maybe a candidate for next month.
It could be. What is also coming out that day? It's Chivalry 2. I was trying to think of a bad joke. Chivalry
yeah,
2
it
is
is.
coming out.
Chivalry 2 is a bad
Screw
joke.
you.
I very much look forward to seeing you play this, Kenny. You're so excited about Chivalry 2.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I feel like I gotta be at this point. I feel like I gotta be in its corner and like pump it up no matter how bad or how good it is.
Everyone needs a cheerleader.
No, you were right.
I'm gonna clip that.
Wednesday, June 9th, Later Daters. Now, this one is, I thought it was a visual novel at first, but I don't think that that's necessarily the case. This is a game for the elderly. And I'll just read the blurb. It says, welcome to Ye Old, your new retirement paradise. Date as an octogenarian and find someone to love, or just get your kicks in while the getting is good. Remember, if the chairs are rocking, don't come a knocking. So, yeah, it's a dating simulator in a retirement community.
I'm out.
Fugs in. Fugs in, though. Oh, boy.
That sounds amazing.
We also have Alba, a wildlife adventure. You may remember this from the ID reel a couple months back. This one's like ones where you take pictures. That's like, it seems to be its main thing. A very cute looking game. So that's coming out. The list just came out for it. It only has like 10 achievements. So, yeah, you don't just see that and you just hate it.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, come on. Anyways, moving on, Thursday, June 10th. A lot of Ninja Gaidans are being remastered. Ninja Gaiden Summarization.
Sigma.
I don't know, is that Sigma? There you go. It's a
Sigma.
little thing. Sigma 2. And then 3, Razor's Edge. I don't know why they skipped 1 and 2. But anyways, those are coming out as a remaster. I think it's a trilogy. I think it's a collection. So I think it's one purchase.
I believe it is.
It's a little bit hard to tell. Anyways, Alchemist Adventure is also coming out, which is an RPG based in a like an island ruin type thing. Yeah, I don't know much about it. And then Friday, June 11th, ending the week, we have Super Soccer Blast, America versus Europe. So we have some Super Soccer Blast already. So it's just a spin-off of that. Another sequel of a game coming out that I thought was terrible, Life of Fly 2. I started Life of Fly for this crazy contest. It is the most boring game I think I've ever played, and they made a second one. So enjoy that. Signal, we mentioned that before. That is getting its Windows 10 stack. Let's Cook Together. This is basically Overcooked, but for 2 people. And then Farm Frenzy Refreshed. This is like a mobile game, except and it's like you have crystals and you have wait times and stuff. It looked terrible, and the achievements seemed terrible. But luckily, some reviewers got it early and released videos today. It is by Chili Dog Interactive, our favorite publisher who likes to use cheat codes. So you can actually skip all of the levels and do everything super duper quick.
And here, this sounds like a game I would enjoy.
You probably would. It doesn't belong on consoles, to be honest. But it's here. I think
what you just described, it sounds like it doesn't.
It absolutely doesn't. Look at it. It looks like it was made in 2004 for your phone. And luckily, if you do get it, you can cheat code your way to the completion. And that's coming real soon.
Okay. Let's see. Contests. Let's get into some contests. Nate, go ahead and give us the gamertag rundown.
Gotcha. May is over. We had our gamertag challenge for May with Saucy Slingo. The wildcard game South Park, The Fractured Butthole. Any new achievement or previous completion was worth 1 draw, and the bonus was Now That's Saucy. Achievements that don't end in 0 or 5, with 1 bonus draw per achievement, limit 1 per game. Now, we do not have the scores for that because we like to give you a day or 2 to get all your entries in, so please do that. And we will announce the winner next week. What we can announce this week is that it's the month of June, and our gamertag patron is Soundwave Core. And his wildcard game is any new achievement or previous completion in a Transformers game. It's worth 1 bonus draw max. And his bonus is Raytail completion. Now, that is apparently has to do with Ray from... Oh, man, I can't remember his name right now. Darn it. The streamer, Ray...
Ray Combs?
Ray. No.
Ray Charles?
Mr. Brown Man?
The guy, yeah, Brown Man, thank you. So yeah,
That's
so
right.
he apparently likes to call things retail completions. And that's when you complete a game that has DLC, but you only get the 1K in it. So the bonus is base completions in a game that has DLC. You can do the DLC if you want to, because a lot of people like to clean that up. And to be honest, that's a real completion. Yeah, and any one of those completions where you get 1,000 on a game that has DLC is worth 1 point.
Ray Navarez Jr.
Ray Navarez Jr. There you go.
I like that bonus. That's good. Good choice. All right. We don't have the winner for Gamertag, but we do have the winner for Patreon because it is a new month. It is the 1st. And the June Patreon drawing is going to Wheezy Fuzz.
Ooh.
Congratulations,
Nice.
man. Thank you for being a part of the Patreon crew. Thank you for supporting us. We highly, highly appreciate it. Message me and I'll get you your code. Yeah, thanks for supporting the show. And with that, let's get into our final spot, or our final thingy. Brag Camp. Corey, take it away.
Oh, boy.
Once again, there was
Good luck.
million milestones. Yeah,
been a long time coming for this one. So, this week I decided to order it by Gamertag. So, you're going to be hearing numbers all over the place. And I tried to compile it as best I could. Again, sorry if you don't hear your name. A Gray Shark has completed 330 games. Alex RD, 225 games. Ace passed the milestone for 395 all the way to 425 games. That's a lot. Ahizo passed to 445 to 450. Ben L 72, 330 to 345. Death Dealers 200 to 210. Dude with the Face passed 425 completions all the way to 435. Freaky RO passed 250 to 265 completions. Jimbot UK 750 completed games. Kitty Skies 600 completed games. KooshMoose, the man right above me, 340 completed games. No, 355 completed games. That's a lot of games, buddy. Probably all on May 31st.
Mm-hmm.
Maychark completed 600 games this past week. I passed the milestones for 355 all the way through 385. Pat on my back right there. Our buddy and probably the anchor of the Rebel Squad here, Retro Chief 1969, not only passed 380 completions, but 410. So that's another 30 right there. RPG Davey passed 800 completions. Skeptical Mario, 285 completions. Also passed 280, so he got more than just a few there on that week. Tony Calzone, certainly the top scorer in the competition. The biggest asset to the Empire, completed 225 games. But no, he had to keep going. Not even 235, 245, 255, 265. He completed 270 completed games. This is just the past 7 days, people.
Dang. Gone, dude.
He passed the milestones for 225 completions all the way to 270 in 1 week. Crazy. Triple Triad 777 completed 750 games. What the fuck? 450 completed games. Wild West 08 800. And then Neo 21 did 375 to 385 completions. Completion percentage. I just highlighted one. Mr. Tony Calzone, the guy who completed all those games, all those baby games. He got the completion percentage of 47%, and then one up that and got to 48%. And that was an added of like several hundred achievements very, 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 very quickly. So good job on you guys. Start completing less stuff.
In ratio, we've got people playing difficult games, not very many of them. We've got What the Fug with a ratio of 1.6, and we have Mark B and Jay Black with ratios of 1.8. In streaks, we have LAB1, Lab1, currently on a 50-day achievement win streak. We've got Ben L72 on a 75-day achievement win streak. We've got RPG Davey with 100 days. We have a Retro Chief 1969 with 150, Dude with the Face, and Johnny Delicious. Joining him, MDP is currently on a 300-day achievement win streak. Then we've got Bastion Reader at 1,250. Saucy Slingo with 2,600. Blue Thunder, 7,398 with 2,925. And we have Big L, currently with 3,075 days.
In Achievements 1, Tony Calzoni has won 9,000 achievements, probably in the last week. Deaf Dealers has reached 9,000. Hawkeye Berry 20, 11,000. Retro Chief, 12,000. Milky Bars Are On Me, 12,000. LAB1, Lab 1, whatever it is, 13,000. Corey has won 17,000 achievement. The Rock has passed 18,000. KooshMoose has passed 19,000 along with Tropan. Enigma Gamer 77, Northern Lass, and Ruben's X have all passed 21,000. Big L and Lego Head have passed 23,000. Vulgar Latin has passed 26,000 achievements won. Jimbot UK has reached 31,000 achievements won. Inferno 118, 33,000. And Ignio Montoya, 39,000 achievements. All right, now for Gamerscore. Take a breath. Hackapone, 125,000 Gamerscore. Sincere Seeker, 200,000 Gamerscore. Hat 90, 250,000. Milky Bars Are On Me, 300,000 along with Deaf Dealers. Tony Calzoni and El Sock, 350,000. Chesno and Mark B and Freem, Freem just squeaking in here to get mentioned on this, all hit 400,000. Retro Chief, Dan Sips, and Freaky Row at 450,000 Gamerscore. Neo 21 and Retro Chief again. Daggone, look at all that. Just keep scoring Gamerscore. They're at 500,000. Enigma Gamer 77 and KooshMoose at 600,000. What the Fug, Northern Lass, and Kitty Skies at 700,000. Bomber 37, MDP, and Chewie on Ice, 800,000. And for the big scores, Railbait, Inferno 118, and Jimpot UK have all reached 1.2 million Gamerscore. And more likely than not, half of them have got scored way over that.
Is it my turn?
It is your turn.
All right, here's a name we haven't mentioned in about 26 seconds. Tony Calzoni has reached a new milestone of 500,000 TA score. Keeping pace is Death Dealers and LAX Jesta, also with 500,000 TA score. Sabin Rothschild, 700,000. Ben L, 72, 900,000. Survivalist, 1 million TA score, as well as a couple of other people that I might know. KooshMoose and rawkerdude, 5012. 1 million TA score.
Oh, yeah. I did that on a terrible, terrible, terrible game. I think it was... it was Crossbow...
Crisscross?
Curtis? I don't know. It was a terrible platformer.
Oh.
Don't ever play it.
All right. It's interesting to see you got your million together.
Yeah, it's... I kind of forgot I was that close, and now every time I go to TA, I see, 7 digits there, and it looks weird.
Indeed. Speaking of weird, What the Fug has 1.1 million TA score. Wild West 08 has 1.3 million. Matriarch aka M aka Mishkel 1.3 million. Casual Exile 1.5 million. And Inigo Montoya with a ridiculous 2.2 million TA score. All right, it is everyone's favorite time, the leaderboards. Alex R. Davies in the top 20 of the TA difference leaderboard for Vayners. Ace is in the top 2,000 of the completed games and Gamerscore leaderboards. Ahaizo is in the top 500 of the USA TA leaderboard. Ben L72 is now second in the England completed games leaderboard for Metroidvanias. I'm pretty sure our community has 2, 3, and 4 in the Englands, but not the number 1. We're going to have to track that guy down and get him in here. Casual Exile is now number 1 in the Oceania TA leaderboard for Metroidvania. See, there we go again. That's from Lost. That's not a real place. Chewie on Ice is now in the top 50 of the England Gamerscore leaderboard for ID at Xbox. Chesno is in the top 100 of the England TA leaderboard for fighting, as well as top 50 of England for Xbox One fighting. Death Dealers is now in the top 10,000 of the Gamerscore leaderboard. That's really not that impressive, but she threatened to kill me if I didn't mention it. Dude with the Face is now in the top 1,000 of the Gamerscore leaderboard for Automobile. Elroy OMJ flexing his way to the top 100 of the Gamerscore leaderboard. Hat 90 is now in the top 2,000 of the England Gamerscore leaderboard. Jay Blach is now second in the Navascaria TA leaderboard for educational and trivia. Never lived that down, Dynable. Jimbot UK is now second in the England TA difference leaderboard for Xbox One puzzle. Kingsman is now in the top 500 of the Gamerscore leaderboard for open world. Whoop, whoop. Mark B is in the top 1,000 of the TA leaderboard for point and click. MDP73, who had a ridiculous May, is in the top 20 of Ontario Gamerscore leaderboard. No idea if there's more than 20 people in Ontario, but there's definitely at least 20. Mental Knight 5, my two Artifux Monday guys back to back in the top 200 of the TA leaderboard. And Mental Knight is also number 1 in the New Hampshire TA difference leaderboard. Northern Lass is in the top 1,000 of the Gamerscore leaderboard. Top 100 of the England Gamerscore leaderboard for ID at Xbox. rawkerdude, that's you, is now in the top 500 of the Gamerscore leaderboard for Xbox One. Retro Chief, haven't heard from him in several seconds, is now in the top 5,000 of the TA leaderboard and in the top 50 of the North Carolina TA leaderboards. Tony Calzoni, who before this month was probably in the top 10,000, is now in the top 100 of the New York Gamerscore leaderboard. If we do any more competitions, he will surpass me easily, so let's not do any more competitions. Triple Triad is now in the top 100 of the USA Gamerscore leaderboard. Vulgar Latin is in the top 1,000 of the Games Played leaderboard. What the Fug is in the top 1,000 of the Gamerscore leaderboard. Wild West 08 is in the top 200 of the USA Gamerscore leaderboard. X Neo 21X, another quiet person in the Vayner category, is in the top 20 of the USA Achievements 1 leaderboard for Vayners. And Yinga Garten is in the top 50 of the TA leaderboard for Vayners. If I didn't know any better, I would say our little podcast has inspired people to play some Metroidvania games. That's just me not knowing any better. I'm not sure. Some quick brags. NBA Kirkland completed the Xbox 360 edition of Halo Wars. Nicely done.
Nice.
He said for efficiency, he wants to start the Xbox One Definitive Edition. Don't do it. Alex R. Davies was the first to finish Mutazioni.
Good son, Tycoon.
It was his first, so he wanted to point that out. Waka Pale was the second person to finish Super Animal Royale. Oh, Waka, only second? Come on, bud.
I almost got it.
We were right behind him.
Yeah. Super Animal Royale.
Totally.
We played Super Animal Royale before the podcast. It was a good time.
That was
Waka
fun.
is Mr. Battle Royale. He said he made up some excuse with hanging out with his daughter for 90 minutes or some nonsense so that he wasn't first. But no, he's awesome. Oh, looks like you inspired Mental Knight to finish Eero Hero while we were recording, Kenny. It took him 470. It took him 477 days. That's a tough
I'm glad
completion.
you were finally able to finish it.
And in the last week, we had some birthdays. Alex R. Davies, Philip Wendell, and KooshMoose. Happy birthday. Today was actually the Alpha Seagull's birthday. He turned the big 3-0. I asked him if he would be joining us for the live stream, and he said no, he's going to be out drinking. More power to you, bud. More power to you. So happy birthday to all of you, and congrats on all the brags and the milestones. I imagine there won't be as many milestones next weekend from now on, but who knows with you crazy people.
Our milestone bot hopes there's not as many.
And that's with us leaving out the
All right.
not even stuff.
Yeah, that's literally
with
like
us
a quarter
with
of
us
what we had.
picking and choosing.
Yeah, we had over 700 milestones to pick from. So
Oh,
either a 4-hour
Yeah.
podcast or we skip a few.
If you wonder why we cut them down, that's why we cut them down. We'd be here for way too long trying to read them all. All right, but that does it for us on our segment. For you all that's here on Twitch chat, be sure to stick around. We'll be doing a Twitch drawing. here shortly after. We'll have a ducky race. But for those that are listening, not following us on Twitch right now, get over to twitch.tv/AH101. Follow us. You can subscribe to us for free if you have Amazon Prime. It helps us out. You can get in on more drawings, more emotes and stuff like that when you do catch a live stream. As always, you can contact us over on the Twitter. You can send us a Twitter tweet at Achievements101. We had a Patreon drawing earlier on in the show. If you would like to get in on that, or at the very least, you would like to help us out, help grow the Discord, help grow the podcast, let's do more giveaways, yada yada. Patreon.com/achievementhunting101. Speaking of Discord, discord.io/AH101. We're all there. We hang out. Good time. It's a great thing to help distract you from work. Because who wants to do actual work at work? You want to talk on Discord.
Yeah.
And lastly, YouTube. YouTube.com/achievementhunting101. Please go subscribe to us there if you haven't already. If you want to, watch the show over, catch the past streams, it'll all go up on YouTube. So you can check that out too.
Yeah. Can I say one thing?
I suppose I can let you say one thing.
We can edit it in post. Yeah.
One thing. No, I was going to say, if you are new to the community and want your milestones read, make sure you friend H101 #4639 on TA. It's a little confusing since there's some couple of other ones that look similar on there. It's H101 tic-tac-toe sign 4639.
Yes, I believe all of the links and the proper link to our TA is in the show notes, so you can check them out there too. But yeah, thank you all for listening. Class is dismissed. Twitch chat, let's do a duck race.
Bye.
Bye.
Class dismissed.
Hey guys, KooshMoose here with a quick challenge that I forgot to mention when we recorded the panel last night. I know we've got a lot of stuff going on with the VCC, CW, RTDL, and GTC. However, maybe you aren't into Lego games, or horror of horrors, you don't like Metroidvanias. I don't know what to tell you. Well, maybe this challenge is something that might appeal to you. I'm throwing another ridiculous contest on the pile in what I'm dubbing June Raider. And the goal is to complete as many of your Tomb Raider games as you can. If you'd like to join along, Jester has set up a spreadsheet, and one way or the other, we'll be tracking your progress. I'm putting up a $20 bounty to be randomly awarded based on the number of achievements you earn this month. Each achievement will earn you 1 draw, and previous completions will net you 5 draws per game. If you want in, ping KooshMoose, and we'll start tracking.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back for episode 3 of Abandonment Issues, the series where me and 2 of my esteemed colleagues, one more so than the other, discuss the games that will forever bar us from that beautiful, beautiful 100% completion percentage. So, who are these esteemed colleagues? Well, one of them joins me from a place with a strange accent, and the other joins me from a place with a stranger accent. So, strange accent. Chewie, what's up, my man?
Yes, strange, not stranger. Yeah, I'm very well. How are you?
I am hanging in there. I got like 3 weeks of school, and it needs to hurry up and just be over. I don't know. Any teachers, you get it. Speaking of teachers, and also with a stranger accent, it's darn Elroy, that hillbilly. What's up?
Oh man, stranger danger, stranger danger,
Stranger danger.
I'll bring some excitement for you. I got you. Here's a question for you. You're being the teaching sort such as you are with the adolescents these days. So here's a question for you. Is it a thing up there in Pennsylvania that every time the freaking yearbook camera comes out to flip it off, or is flipping off the camera cool amongst the kids up there?
I haven't seen it for the yearbook camera, to be honest, but yes, flipping off the camera in general is very much cool.
Okay, so we've moved on from the peace sign, and now
they just forgot one of the fingers, I think.
Okay, I'm trying to finish up the yearbook is why I ask, and so it's been a challenge since there's nothing going on at school, and so I came up with this brilliant idea of where every senior gets a quarter page in the yearbook. And so basically they submit the photos they want, and so you can imagine what I received.
Oh, God.
And so I have been spending a lot of time today putting cat PNG images over fingers in the yearbook. So there's just going to be a lot of cats in that section where little random cat heads, and one of them, you know, he was doing doubles, so he's holding a cat. And
that is the best use of Photoshop in a yearbook probably ever.
Oh, this wasn't even Photoshop because the stupid financial secretary forgot to pay our our licensing. So I am literally trying to finish the yearbook without Photoshop. It's like having an arm tied behind my back. So it's just a random cat image just there. It's just there. One is like almost covering half of the girl's face because she's holding double middle fingers just under her chin. So it looks like she sprouted a cat as a goatee, I think. So,
is this the same girl whose senior quote is, "Marry a man who is well-to-do and fiscally responsible"?
Yes. Yes. I will. I haven't gone through those yet. That's going to be tomorrow. But what he's referring to is I get all kinds of just awful senior quotes that I make sound quite intellectual. So what that one would have been something like "get your money" or something, or you know, I forget. And so if they put "get your money," it would say, you know, find a means for financial security and gainful employment, or something like that.
I don't know why that cracks me up, but I have those pictures saved on my phone, and whenever I need like a laugh, I just scroll through them.
Oh man, yeah.
I went to this high school.
Yeah, that's right. That's code for some people go to high school. I go to school high, and so I see that so many times. Everyone thinks it's clever. I don't know, and so I changed it to just I am a student at high school. That's a senior quote.
It's
Congratulations.
Anyway, so this is Abandonment Issues. If you listened to the first two, then you know it's in store. I'll give you a quick refresher. If you haven't listened to the first two, basically, myself, Chewie, and Elroy have all selected games for each other that remain incomplete on our profile, kind of in like a bizarre love triangle kind of way, I suppose. So I picked one game for Chewie, and I picked one game for Elroy, and they did the same for each of us. So there are 6 games total, 2 each. The catch here is we don't know what games have been chosen for us. So they're going to ask me why I abandoned the game, and then I'm going to have to, on the fly, come up with a story if I don't have a real one. But ideally, we have real ones, and it wasn't just played by, you know, Nacho or something, right?
I was say, please pick some games that I've actually played today.
That narrows it down from like 17 pages to 4 pages, man.
Hey, I'm rooting for y'all.
Well, before we talk about our new picks, does anyone have any updates from our last episode?
It's funny you should say that, because yes, you may remember, if you cast your mind back, how long ago? A couple of months now, maybe?
Yeah, 6 weeks or so.
You picked out 2 games for me. You picked out Extreme Exorcism, which I had beaten.
In your face.
Which I had beaten but not completed. And I can tell you now that I have completed that game.
Nice.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I very diligently went back. I got all the deaths. I finished all the challenges. I explored the entire house, and I can tell you now that that house is indeed clean.
Not in the old lady
Not
sense.
in the old lady sense. It is done. It is uninstalled. So fully unabandoned. And then the other one you chose was the orange box. Now, you were referring to the Portal challenge maps, and I must confess I did not even attempt to go back to those. But I did reload Half-Life 2 to try and get the old Lambda caches that I was missing. But unfortunately, that game does have tracking, and for some reason, like, I can see that I've got like over half of them, and I just can't tell which ones. So I put maybe an hour and a half into the game, collecting, I don't know, a good 10, 15, but the number wasn't ticking up. So I was like, I'm probably going to have to do a full playthrough of this.
Oh.
So
man,
I don't know.
Man, I'm so not going to get that 10-point achievement.
I mean, I'd love to, but there are other pressing matters. So maybe one day. But Extreme Exorcism, fully unabandoned, fully completed, job done.
Very nice.
I am impressed, man.
I feel like I'm going to need a new intro blurb because I just got done telling people how these are games that will forever haunt our completion percentage, and here you are bringing that up. So
I mean, I'm committed
this whole
to
segment's falling apart.
Yeah, I'm committed to proving you wrong at every turn, basically.
Ow, okay. All right.
Yeah. Well, since you asked, I have an update too. So I was tasked with Loco Cycle, which I have no idea what that's about, and also Zombie Driver. And so, Zombie Driver. Yeah, okay, that's the
Zombie
name.
Driver Ultimate Edition HD.
That's right,
I think.
Ultimate. Yeah, it's like
Ultimate.
it's the super duper one on the Expo. And so I remember something about how you said, "Oh yeah, you're just right there. All you gotta do is just beat the boss real quick, and you're done." And I thought, okay, well, I can do that. And so it was worth enough TA to go and do it real quick. And so I loaded it up, and I went through a stage, and okay, nothing there. And then I went through another stage, and I was actually about 7 stages behind that point. But so I had to actually kind of work for it a little bit. But I was dedicated to it, and I went through it and beat the giant. I don't know what that thing was, but beat the little giant tree monster looking thing.
Yeah, that was bizarre.
Yeah, I'm not really sure, but I beat whatever that was, and then you said it was like real simple, and then you just get the second achievement, and you're like, I don't know why other people got one but not the other. Let me tell you something. Like, I don't know what my deal was, but I couldn't get out of that town. Because once you destroy the little tree monster thing, you get an achievement for that, and then you have to escape the city. And so I couldn't do it. It kept I don't know what it was, but it was not as easy as you described is what I'm trying to get at. And then at some point I couldn't get it right after, so I just closed out because I was bedtime or something. And so then I fired it up the next morning. It's like, all right, I'm gonna get out of this town. And I had to beat the boss again. And so I had to do that twice, and it's not exactly it's not hard, it's a little challenging, and so it was just a major inconvenience, but I stuck with it, and I got those 2 achievements, and I feel, just fine about myself. And I actually went back and got a few more, but it's not completed by any stretch, but I did get to see the ending that I was curious about,
Did you answer the question?
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. Was the plot concluded?
So I have a lot of questions about
Probably
that.
Spoiler alert, just FYI.
Yeah, so
I'll say it before the spoilers, unlike some people on this show.
What? Yeah, Chewie's bad about that. So we had, all right, so you kill the tree monster thing, you get out of town, and then for whatever reason, you just ran all over the place, and then all of a sudden you run into a tree or something like that and crash at the end or something. I forget. But anyway, you crash, and so you're like hanging out of the vehicle, and you're like dead, it looks like, and you're like, well, that's kind of a downer. But then he opens his eyes, and he's a zombie. He's like, and it's like, oh man, he's a zombie. Now the question is, at what point did he become the zombie? So what caused him to become the zombie? There's a lot of unanswered questions. I think we need a prequel, maybe, to see what events led to the actual what word am I looking for? Where he became the zombie? The
Transformation?
Yeah, the transformation, the whatever, where they caused him to
transition.
Yeah, the infection, the source. What is the source of this? The zombie gene into his DNA that caused him to. And if he's a zombie, then what is his motivation? If he was a zombie the whole time, he's killing just an obscene amount of zombies. So either he hates himself, he looks in the mirror every morning and he just hates himself and he wants to rid the world of zombies. We don't know what his motivation is, but we did have some clues. There is a clue in the game where
he could be like the Blade of the zombie world, right? Blade is a vampire who kills vampires. This guy could be.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
You're right about it. That's accurate. Yeah, and so there was a clue dropped where you pick up one of the people and they're like, "Oh, buddy, you don't look so good," and so I assume at that point he was either a zombie or was turning into one at that point. So otherwise, I don't know, maybe he just didn't look good because he was really stressed out about driving through hordes of zombies, and maybe he didn't look good then. I don't know. It was really judgmental of that guy. I mean, you're saving his life and he's telling you don't look good. I mean, come on.
I had a Zoom class a few weeks ago, And first period, they, because it's a class of 17 and, 4 of them log in, of course. And all 4 of them, like, within 10 seconds, just told me, like, wow, you look really tired. Which, like, thanks, guys. Like, yes, I look like
code.
shit. Way to thank you for telling me to my face. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, that's a good start. Good start, guys. Oh, man. But anyway, I'm sorry. That was my update, though. So for those of you that are wondering, I don't have conclusive evidence, but I do know that if he was a zombie that was a driver or a zombie driver. Right, so a zombie driver driving through zombies, I forget. But it's like he might be. I don't know. There's no definitive.
I actually distinctly remember that you were a zombie. Like, that's how I remember the ending. Oh, you were a zombie.
I've concluded after all of this that I actually just don't really care.
Right, but so we know you're a zombie at the end, but the question is when did that occur?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's true. That I don't have an answer to.
Yeah, so you're a very smart zombie because you're taking all these orders and driving around. You remember the roads. I mean, most zombies just walk around aimlessly, bumping into things. But you're like navigating a vehicle and picking up people at locations, and I don't know.
Well, I also have an update.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I have no update is my update. I did hover over the tile for Tembo.
Was it a badass title?
It was a badass tile. I was going to click on it. And then I went back to Dragon Quest, which pretty much consumed my life from the last time we recorded until just the other day. What a great game. Maybe this will be the one, now that I am a master of education, haven't recorded since completing my master's, and I have all the time in the world. Thank you.
Congrats, man.
For everyone
Congrats.
clapping at Homer in their car. Thank you.
Awesome, man.
Well, shall we get this show started?
Yeah, we just started recording, so let's go.
Chewie, what have you got for the Roy?
What have I got for the Roy? Okay, the first episode we did of this, I gave you Army of Bros.
Army of Bros,
Devil's Cartel.
Devil's Cartel.
The
Which was
Bros
kind of a
Cartel.
dumb shooter. You'd done a little bit of it,
Which I did do.
which you did more of. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I did meet that.
I thought, I'd stick with the theme because I'm so original, and I'd give you another dumb shooter that you really, in that case, not so much of a good game, I would say. It's pretty flawed. Meh. B-movie game. The one I've picked for you this time is a game that absolutely deserves to be played and finished. Solid 4.55, whatever you want to put it.
Well, that's probably why I didn't finish it, because I got uncomfortable with how good it was.
And you have got so far in it, and you're just so close to the end, which I'm sure you've just...
I've heard this
you've
before.
heard that
this line
before.
before.
That you at least finished the story. This game is Wolfenstein: The New Order.
Okay, yeah, okay.
So you played it, started it in November 2015. You played it a little bit through November and December, and then you just let it go. And you did a lot. You've unlocked over half the achievements.
And you oddly have one random achievement from October 2018.
Yeah, I was going to say, this one is another one of those blend games where I kind of started, and I was like, all right, it's all right, but I kind of forgot about it. And then, those teenagers, they do love their first-person shooters. And so there was, I think that was probably the random one. Was it something to do with collectibles?
No.
Unlocking a perk.
Yeah, unlocking a perk, doing a certain action a certain number of times.
Okay, because I think there was one that appeared on something, either on like a RTDL. I think it was on my RTDL back when we had the competitive RTDL. So I think that's when it fired back up for that random time. But the only thing I really remember about it is I got to this one point where I couldn't get through this boss. And whenever, adversity stares me in the face for probably more than, 5 attempts, my mind starts to wonder about all the games I could be playing. And so
you could get 3 rats in that one boss fight.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I don't see the end in sight here. Maybe I should just put it down and come back to it. And then I just never do. And so it was the one in the factory, and it was like this big robot thing, and that thing just kept murderizing me, man. It just wasn't happening for me. And I think I actually did go back and I think I did defeat that thing. Is that the first achievement after I started playing it again, perhaps? After the long interval. It was probably defeat giant freaking robot dude that fires cannons at you every time you poke your head out. I don't know.
It's hard to say because most of the achievements in the game actually relate to perks.
Yeah, there's very few story achievements.
Oh, okay. I assume there had to be an achievement for killing that thing.
It does look like you are missing two main story achievements. It's been so long since I played, but a story event and then complete the game. So you are probably on the second to last boss.
All right. Just like Zombie Gyro, it's just right there, right? And but I don't really have a good reason as to why, other than that one boss. I wish I could remember more about why I stopped playing it the second time. All I can recall is stopping. Now you got me really curious because I was following the walkthrough, because there is a walkthrough. So
just shoot stuff. You don't need a walkthrough. What are you talking about? I got real far. I don't have like any of the perks. I just pulled up the list in its proper form, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like you have 4 missions to go.
Yeah, you're close to the end.
So you might very well be on the second to last boss, but there's not a boss every level.
The thing with the perks is you have to kind of work to them, so it depends how you were playing. If you were just playing the game, then you wouldn't necessarily unlock all the perks. For the perks, you kind of have to, like X was saying, you have to do the same thing a bunch of times.
Some of them you can cheese with kill a guy by throwing a knife. You just load the checkpoint over, kill the guy.
That's what's really good about that game is that they carry through the checkpoints. So you can really make it crappy. If it's like stealth kill 50 commanders, you could literally stealth kill the same commander 50 times just by reloading a checkpoint if you really want to choose it.
Yeah. So I don't know, but I just remember that one robot boss, and then I beat it, and I just kind of lost interest, man. I don't know. First-person shooters aren't exactly my thing.
To be honest, mine neither. But this is one of the best. So,
Is it really? I had no idea this one was so well received.
Oh, very much so.
Of recent years, I'd say. Or there's obviously older classics, but I don't know. It just brought so many things together in a nice package. The shooting mechanics are really good. The story is cool. It's got a lot of personality.
And you get to kill Nazis.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started it just because of. I played the original one way back in the day when it first came out, and I just thought, well, maybe they follow the same formula, and it's all complicated now. You got too many buttons. I just just shoot and strafe. Strafe's optional. You don't even need strafe really, but just shoot, and no jumping in my first person shooters. So I'm old school like that. Like Doom 2 was actually the perfect combination because all you had to do was shoot and strafe. That's it.
See, I figured you would enjoy how just completely over the top this story is. Like the crazy Nazis, the crazy woman, and the main guy is probably the thickest neck in the entire world.
Oh man, now you're starting to pique my interest. But I think probably what happened is probably the cutscenes are skippable, if I'm guessing.
Oh, well, you can't skip the cutscenes in Wolfenstein.
I have a standing rule. One must have rules. The rule is if you can skip it, you skip it. I'm sorry, that's just the Chivo hunting creed, man.
So don't play this one for your precious Chivos. Play this one just because it's a good game and you get to kill Nazis.
I don't know if I can turn it off, though. Every time a new Assassin's Creed game comes out, I always think I can turn it off just long enough for that one game. And inevitably, I just stop playing it. And my completion percentage on the latest Assassin's Creed games just get worse and worse. Like, I play less and less of a new one. I don't know. I know I'm in there somewhere. Hopefully someday I find a way out.
Well, that's sad. I'm so sad for you.
That was a really downer way to end that, wasn't it?
I hope I'm in there somewhere. What does that even mean?
Yeah, but good suggestion, though. You had me at thick neck. I like a character with a thick neck, so I may have to go check this out.
All right. Well, hopefully a happier note. Hopefully. That was Chewie to Elroy. So, Elroy, what have you got for me?
Oh, man. Well, I feel like I've been talking a lot, and
Shocker.
I feel like we've both, all of us kind of have been going, and I hate for the segment to be over an hour. So I don't mean to rush you, but no time to explain.
Is there another follow-up pun?
Maybe.
Should I just do my spiel and
I'm
you'll
so
deliver
sorry.
it
We're
as
out of
necessary?
time here, so there's absolutely no time to explain. No time to explain. So
we should just move on.
So Chewie.
Yeah.
So I actually not probably a game that I ever would have tried.
Well, it looks like you did try it.
It had a demo, I believe, and in the demo you could complete the first level or something. So I have my page pulled up. So I got the achievement for beat the first level, started playing, or maybe that's even just fire up the game. And then I think there was another one that you could do in the demo, I think, but it was timed or something, and
You have 2 Chivos. You dance.
I don't know, but I think the demo was timed, and I could not do it in the time. But then there was some Microsoft event where they gave a mix pot, and they gave it out for free.
Yeah.
So I went back in to, I was like, oh, cool, now, I enjoyed it for what it was worth. And I got the dancing one, and I couldn't get anything else. I was absolutely dreadful at this game.
Man, okay. So let me try to sell you on it. This game is actually quite genius.
But there's no time to explain.
So we're just going to move on. No. All right, here you go. This is your tease. It has one of the best endings for a game I can recall in recent memory. I laughed out loud. It was that funny.
Elroy, I would just say that you would probably enjoy lots of game endings if you didn't skip the cutscenes.
Well, you can't skip this ending, so I definitely saw it. It was hysterical, man. This game is just so random and just all over the board. It just really, I don't know. I have a really soft spot in my heart for this game, and you're just going around collecting random items to, as hats and so like hamburgers. Like there's one where you have to wear a hamburger, and there's an achievement related that we could probably talk about on the 4-year anniversary show of Child Obesity Month, and where you have to be fat and eat a bunch of cake and have a hamburger for a face. But the game, it's just in itself, it's just so, it has a lot of comedy in it, and like I said, it's tough to come up with a game that's funny.
Yeah, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I feel like this isn't a game that I ever would have played, but when I got the free demo, I played it, and I, enjoyed it for what it was. But I was really bad at it. I tried. I really did. I own it now, and
there's only one thing you have to do. You just shoot the little laser. That's all.
I can't say I blame you, though, because if you look at the achievement distribution, I mean, it significantly drops off, right? The amount of people who have earned just the first achievement to, like, everything else.
I have no idea how this thing's worth 4,000. Over 4,000.
Is it easy?
TA. I thought it was, but I was playing it for the points. That's the only reason I started it up. And it was one of those. There's like 15 games that everyone played. This was one of them, and it's it's not super challenging. Like all the hats, you can get a lot of points just from the hats themselves. The only part that really I found challenging or difficult was beating the final boss. He was a little problematic, and then I didn't have the patience to go back and do the part where you have to like fling yourself and not hit anything. I forget which one that is, but it's like play through Straight Jacket Darkness Universe Without Dying. Again, whenever they have something like that where you have without dying or any kind of speed run like that, not going to happen for me usually, but it was called Steed Run, ironically enough, but that one it's going to take a lot of patience, and that's the only one I missed on it. So
yeah, I don't know. Even the other one I have, dancing through the whole first universe, it's a 3.1 ratio. I mean,
the cutscenes were actually really good. I should give other cutscenes more of a chance, but these were actually really good. They were quick, funny, and very bloody, very dark humor, I guess. Anyway, that's all I have for you. So I'm sorry that there wasn't like a better story there.
Well, I feel like
demo. It seems like I always pick your demos. Like that's what
really
with Kung Fu, right?
Yeah, that's my story. It was tough. I enjoyed it, and I just hit a wall and put it down before my controller hit a wall. You like that one? I just made that up. I might have to save that one for later. So yeah, that's it. That's Abandoned. I don't see myself going back, to be honest, just because I remember how frustrated this one was making me, and I don't like reaching that state in my casual retired gamerness anymore. If a game frustrates me, I turn it off. Unless I know I can do it, in which case I get frustrated, and then I play frustratedly. But if I can't do it, then I quit. My turn to deliver my game on to Chewie, and I would like to know, how good is your memory, my Scottish friend?
Mixed. I can remember every character name from the Aliens films, but I can't remember how to get to the supermarket.
All right, so you can remember that, but can you remember me?
Oh.
You just gotta.
No, I thought some really random roundabout discussion. I was proud of that one. I'm disappointed that's all I got.
So I actually covered Remember Me quite in depth on a back-to-back episode about a year ago. No, well, whenever I did it, was it? Yeah, last year.
But why did you abandon it?
Back to back?
I haven't abandoned it. I've completed it apart from the hard playthrough.
No, you haven't.
I beat the game.
Wait, I have so many questions right now.
I did.
Nope. You only beat the game when you get the final bleep bloop.
No, beating it is completing the story. Completing it is completing it.
Well, I'm just saying, I'm looking right here on True Achievements, and you have 2 story achievements that are unlocked.
Those are the stacks for the 2 harder difficulties. I don't have much of a story because, I dived it in 2017 and did a little bit. But then as part of back-to-back last year, I did pretty much the entire game, beat the game in a few days, talked about it on the podcast. All that's left is if I want to do a hard playthrough, basically. Which is true of quite a lot of my games, is in that I have maybe 1, 2, 3, maybe, it depends how many difficulty levels there are, but I don't tend to play the hard playthroughs of a lot of games, especially if I find them actually hard. Sometimes I'll try. So I usually go in on normal. On this one, I went on easy. So there's a method, right? You look at the walkthrough, you figure out how many playthroughs you need, and then you try and do them as efficiently as possible. So if you have to do 2 playthroughs, but you can carry over your stuff from the first playthrough into the second, then I'll do it on easy, because then I'll collect everything, find everything, do everything on easy, no stress, and then I'll be fully powered up to do basically like the new game plus, which is where I am with this game. I just haven't got around to it, basically.
Did you go back and listen to an unaired podcast segment that was recorded like the other day? So I literally just talked about that, where I have a tier system where I will not play like if it has an easy, normal, hard difficulty. I have a tier system there, and like tier 1's where they all stack, and then tier 2 is where, and like I don't know. Anyway, so if that airs first, then you'll know what I'm talking about. If it airs secondly, then
some nice foreshadowing there.
Yeah, so it's just weird. It's like I was having deja vu because I literally talked about that when I recorded it yesterday or 2 days ago maybe.
Yeah.
So weird. So I'm with you 100%. Even though you don't know, I backed you 100% in a different segment.
I fully do intend to do it at some point. It's just it's only been a year.
Yeah, not even. You played it in. That's what I was going to say. You played it June 2020. That's quite recent. Not like much has happened since June 2020.
I could have I probably should have done that second playthrough very quickly after, because it would have been fresh in my mind. It would have actually been very quick because it is New Game Plus, so you have all of your abilities. You don't have to worry about collectibles and all of that gubbins. So I could have probably finished the second playthrough in a few hours. But if I went back to it now, it's going to take longer because I'm going to have to remember everything.
It's abandoned so close, 92%.
Yeah, story.
That's what I mean. Like, why was it abandoned?
So I have a list. I have a running list on TA, which is called, I think it's called So Close. I think that's literally the name of my list. And it's all my games where I have like between 1 and 5 achievements left. And it's just like that. I might go back to those maybe if I have a moment. But never do. Just never do. Occasionally do. I did it recently with Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Conviction. That game I last played 10 years ago. And I had maybe like 3 achievements left in it. And literally like maybe last week or 2 weeks ago, I finally came back and finished it off. 10 years in the making.
Impressive.
See, now I have to. Now you've talked to me about it.
Well, see, then this was a good thing. And then again, you will prove me wrong that it wasn't abandoned.
Yeah.
And it's not forever killing your completion percentage.
I hear sadness in his voice because he's like, oh, God.
Oh, man.
Play this again.
I do like the game. It's okay. Remember Me is a decent game. It's an action adventure. It's made by the people who did Life is Strange.
It was their first game before
it's
they
not. It's not
that.
a Life is Strange style game. It's more actiony. It's kind of standard kind of stuff. Although there is like a memory mechanic where you can replay memories and then change how the outcomes of those memories by manipulating stuff in the memory. That's kind of like in between chapters, which are mostly just about beating the hell out of people otherwise. So, and it's a really decent game. Not perfect, pretty flawed, but like, you know, a good 3.54 out of 5. Really big shame that it's not backwards compatible.
Yeah, I own it, and I just can't bring myself to fire up the 360.
Yeah, it's in that list of like shoulda, woulda, couldas on the backwards compatibility stuff. You know, that, Max Payne 3, Dust, a few others. Where you just think, it's a missed opportunity. They should have done that. Okay, fine. By next time we record, then I will have completed that game.
All right, I guess we can do the same orders. So, Elroy, what I like about your game list is that it's full of games that are just very you. Like, when I go on the TA homepage, you can just tell by the title and the picture, like, oh, that's a rat. And you just know, and then you click on it, and you're like, yep, that's a rat. But then there's other certain games where you just see the title, and you're like, oh, Elroy would like that one. Like, the Chicken Police just came out or something. You know, Donut. What's the heck is it called? Your favorite game ever? Donut County. I was thinking Kingdom. I was like, that's not
How can you forget the one game that was inspired by the podcast?
Exactly, right? You just know. You just know that that's an Elroy game.
Yeah.
So another one of those Elroy games is Purple Chicken Spaceman.
Nice.
Purple chicken, spaceman.
Please put that song in there. I love that song, man. I
so
just sit
oddly
there and
enough,
listen.
I know the song. I think you've sent it to me.
Yeah, man. I'm like, that is a song, man. I just let it play. I just leave it on the title screen and let it go, man.
The only two you're missing are played the game a second time and played into the wee hours of the night, which is just playing between 2 and 5 a.m. So I know you don't have that one because you're old, but this just seems right up your alley.
I could get it on the back end because I get up, just after 5. So
this just seems right up your alley, a game that you would want to play just to play and not for achievements. So why haven't you just played it a second time?
All right, so this is going to introduce an issue that maybe some people kind of had, but they don't really ever think about, which is
there's probably a pill for that to
to
beat another dead horse.
But for this one, it's on one of my Xboxes that I never fire up, so I don't ever see it. Like I have my game catalog like segmented across. If I get a new Xbox, I guess for whatever reason I don't trust the cloud saving mechanism. So if I started a game on one Xbox, I don't install it on another Xbox because I'm like, something's going to happen to my save data, and then I'm just going to lose everything. I don't know. I just don't trust it. I don't know why.
That's the first I've heard that, but okay.
Yeah, I just don't trust it. So I leave it on the original Xbox that I played it on, and then it just sits there until I fire that one back up for whatever reason. I have like several home consoles set up where, and then I'll go play a game that Rawker buys or what have you. So, and that actually is on the console that I have set as his home Xbox, which I need to change. But it's just trapped there. And so that seems like a game where I would lose all my power-ups on. I have a decent amount. I probably could make a good run at it because in that game, all you need is just a bunch of power-ups. You just grind them out, and then when you have a bunch of shields and grenades and everything, then you just go for it, and you can basically are invincible.
You say that. Okay.
I have it. I do.
This was talked about on the podcast like a few years. Well, early on, I think someone reviewed it when it first came out or something like that, and they basically said the same thing. They were like, "Oh, all you have to do is get all the power ups, and then you're pretty much invincible."
That's true, though.
I've got this game, and I played it a year ago, and I just can't do it. I got like some power ups, and then I just died.
The hardest achievement's a 1.82 ratio.
I can't do it. I think it's me. I think it's because it's a shoot 'em up, and for just some reason I cannot do shoot 'em ups. I'm not fast enough. And I know you don't have to be that fast.
That's what you
but
don't have to be.
So many easy shoot 'em ups I have not completed. Zoroptian Invasion, Radio Squid, this, a whole bunch of Easter Asia soft stuff. I just can't do it. I can't do it.
I don't even see you on my list. Did you play it for very long?
I've got 6 achievements, and none of them involve finishing the first level because I can't do it.
Oh, it's like that, huh?
Oh, there you are. Okay, yeah, you were so far down on there. Yeah, 96. Wow, that's not very much. You used a bomb, you used a shield, and
You look at the first solution for the first story achievement, which I haven't earned, and it says just kill the 15 enemies, shoot the cat, done. And the first comment on that solution is, Jesus, can the difficulty be adjusted? I always reach the cat with 0 lives, if I even get there at all. First level, and I find this hard as fuck.
I see that. Yeah,
And I agree with that. I agree with that wholeheartedly.
it's not. Just all right. So the way this game works is it's very repetitive, and grind the first stage because that's where they play the theme song. So grind the first stage, and you get to hear the theme song, enjoyable, and just kill a few enemies, get a few extra bombs, get a few extra shields, and then just die, and then do it again, just until you get like 20, 30 of them. Then make your run, depending on how good at these games you are. If you go through 20 shields and 20 bombs and you don't at least beat the first stage, then you're clearly doing something wrong. I'm not really sure what that is, but probably try dodging the bullets would be my suggestion.
You have to move.
Nice.
Yeah, like, so they shoot and those bullets kill you.
Right,
And so,
right.
yeah, so you
right.
have to, you're not trying to collect
Is that why?
the bullets.
Is that why it's called a shoot 'em
Yeah.
up?
Yeah, it's not a collection game. It's not, they're not shooting collectibles at you.
I thought they were shooting hugs.
I do want to go back and finish this game. I had actually considered it back when I was looking for some points in that godforsaken contest.
We don't
because
speak of that anymore.
Yes,
until you sign up again.
Exactly. And it was like 166 points, which is not terrible. Like early on in the competition, I mean, it's not worth much once you get kind of past January or whenever. But in the fall, that was decent little points. But I will go back and finish this game. Yeah, I will do it, and I don't know about staying up late.
You can just adjust your time on the Xbox.
He doesn't know how to do that.
Okay.
You literally
Sure,
just go
okay.
into the settings, change the time to like 2 a.m.
Okay.
You don't actually. It's easier to change the time zone. That way, you don't actually have to do the numbers.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. I like this recommendation. I think that I can work with this one
Okay.
All
And
right.
because I have all the stuff. I've already grinded it. I just gotta.
you know what? I'm going to piggyback off it, and I'm going to try and unabandon it too.
I feel like my role in this segment is just to inspire you guys to go get these muffed completions.
Yeah. Well, you picked a winner here.
The thing is with me is that I am a sheep and I can't really think for myself. So when I have like, I don't know, 1,000 games in my backlog and I don't know what to play, I let stupid things like RTDL and contests and challenges guide me, or just someone whispering in my ear saying, you should play that game.
That's fair. I respect that, actually. Because I will fire up the Xbox and be like, cool, I just beat Dragon Quest. What am I going to play now? And then stare at my 452 installed games until dinner and then play nothing.
Yeah, I can relate to that.
So, following the same order, Chewie, what have you got for me?
I need you to close your eyes and try and remember a dark day in your life.
Okay.
The year is 2016.
Okay.
It's the month of July the 25th. And for 4 hours on July the 25th, you are playing your way through a game. You're doing pretty well on that game. You're earning almost half of the achievements in that game. And then something happens. Something just awful happens. And you rate that game 1 star and never, ever look at it again.
What?
That game is Spy Chameleon. So, X, why did you put a good 4 hours into this game, rate it 1 star, and then throw it in the bin?
I feel like you guys are just picking on me today with games that I'm just not good enough to play, because this one got really hard, and I couldn't beat it.
Were you playing it on hard?
Probably. Is there an achievement for that? Yeah, now that I'm
There was
looking
quite
at it,
a
I got
lot
it
of
up.
achievements for it being on hard.
Only on hard, complete, yeah. This was in the early days of my achievement hunting, so of course I was playing on hard. I don't do that anymore. Easy mode all the way, baby. No, I distinctly remember this one. The first couple levels, it starts off really easy, and you're like, "Cool, I got this." Like, I'm a kick-ass KGB chameleon, yeah. And then like level 10, no, actually, you're not. You suck. And that was me. Somehow I apparently made it through 45 levels at least.
Yeah, it's
and
decent.
what is the next achievement? Is level 60. So I got stuck somewhere between 45 and 60. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. That was a while ago. I think the levels are like broken up into chunks.
There are missions, 5 missions.
Yeah, so you can access like the next one, but you need stars or something, I think. And I just hit a roadblock and could not advance the main story anymore. But then, as I'm looking at the list, it's like all the like, do this mission, this certain way, and I'm sure I tried those, and I got a couple of them.
My bigger question is why on earth did you start this game? This is a dreadful list. It's like everything has to be done on hard difficulty, and then you have like time challenges and red flag after red flag.
So that one I actually can answer. So the game came out in May 2015, and I played it July 2016, so shortly, like a year after it came out. This was before I had a full-time job and disposable income to just buy anything I wanted and blow my money on stupid stuff. So this was a $5 puzzle game. I generally like puzzle games. I don't like stealth games. I think this game told me that. But it was a $5 puzzle game at a time when I didn't have a lot of money. And it had a decent ratio to boot, so I'm pretty sure that's why I would have gotten it.
So the 1-star rating is that?
I love the 1-star rating.
Is the 1-star rating, is that born of the frustration of the hardness, or is it because it's genuinely not a good game?
I'm gonna assume that was a rage rate.
Okay. So I have a question. I have a
rage
question about that too. So I don't do a whole lot of rating, but can't you rate a game a half a star? Like what earned that half a star of respect?
It's because he knew. It's because he knew in his heart of hearts that it was
It's
a rage
not a
rate.
0.5. I knew deep down it's not a 0.5.
It was a rage rate, but he knew that he couldn't stoop so low.
It was a respectable rage rate, a gentleman's rage rating. Shoot, I actually forgot this game existed. I will tell you what, I will go back and try this one.
You are not going to do anything with this game.
I will, because I think I was probably playing on hard just for the hard mode.
Yeah,
but if I can fire it up on easy...
Yeah, finish the game on easy. You could get, a good...
because you're going to have to start all over. You're not going to play through 60 levels.
But Elroy, I believe in the cloud save, so...
No, but you already started on hard, right? We've established that. So wouldn't you have to start over?
No, I think it's one of those things where you just for
it
each
just
mission
makes it
you
harder.
say,
Yeah.
Okay.
Or maybe it has like a different time constraint, maybe, or different obstacles. I should be able to hop right back in on easy now that I don't care about all those hard mode achievements.
Yeah.
I'm impressed, man, because this list is...
I'm absolutely not going to get the full 1,000. I am looking at the list now. That's absolutely not going to happen. But I will try and beat the main story. That'll get me 90 Gamerscore, it looks like.
Yeah.
And then maybe like a random one along the way, but...
I can't wait for the update on this one, because I'm going BS on this. I don't think you're going to do it.
And maybe I'll even update my 1-star rating.
I know you're not going to do that. Can you change your rating? I think I accidentally clicked on a rating once, and I couldn't undo it.
You can undo it, it just doesn't show up in your feed. So a lot of people misclick 5-star, and then, whoops, it's actually 3.5 or whatever.
Okay.
But it won't show that, it'll only show your initial. That's why, this one was just hard. And I'm not very good at video games, to be perfectly honest. What was I thinking? Playing a game with an achievement list where you have to do everything on hard. I'm trying to remember. Honestly, it was a cool concept. You're a chameleon, so you match the color of the face buttons on your controller. So you have to hide in certain areas, and I need to be green, so let me hit A. And now I gotta run and, dodge the cameras, and then I'll camouflage in the blue, so let me hit X. So it was half stealth and half, puzzle getting the right combination. Neither of you guys have played this.
I own it, which was partly why I was interested to hear your take, and
Okay.
I've now decided that I will not start it.
I just remember it being super frustrating. Elroy, what have you got for Chewie?
All right. So, my hairy friend.
Mm-hmm.
I have... this segment's all about... we've been doing the same thing over and over, and sometimes successfully, sometimes unsuccessfully, with picking games for one another. And the key thing is to just, you just got to keep going with it. And so even if it can be frustrating and everything like that, and some games are beautiful in their simplicity. And if you're looking for easy Gamerscore this month, it seems like this would be a good one to pick up because it's only a 2 to 3 hour completion. And sometimes you just got to pick a game back up. Sometimes that game is a sometimes you game. So, Mr. Chewie, Alteric.
Oh, you.
Well, I got a much better reaction than you got, X. I think I picked a worse one for him here. I don't know. So true, yes. As he mentioned, you finished chapter 1, and then it looks like you just completely got frustrated, and then you decided to just get all the grinding out of the way. Like you died 100 times, you jumped 1,000 times, then you jumped 2,000 times, and then you threw this game into the trash bin and said, "The hell with chapter 2, the hell with chapter 3," But interesting enough, you didn't want to stick around long enough to jump 4,000 times. It seems like if you went ahead and got the 1,000 and the 2,000 out of the way, that you would have just, went ahead and did the 4,000. And then also you swapped the world, I think, a few times. You swapped the world 200 times, but you didn't do 400 times. So there's just stuff all over the place here. It just looks like you just vanished out of this game. What's the scoop here?
Okay, so this game, I remember you talking about this game, Elroy, and your frustrations with the final boss. So you managed to get to the final boss.
Can I throw in that they actually put that warning into the... They put a warning up there underneath the game information that was not there when I played it.
Yes. There is a known issue where game progress may be lost if the game is quit before completion. It is recommended to attempt to finish the game without quitting to avoid any potential issues. So this game is a 2 to 3 hour completion, and it stresses me out to think about having to do it in one sitting, and that is the reason I have not completed it. I bean dived it, I think, back in 2019. Before I knew any of that stuff. And then I heard you, I think, on the podcast, and I was like, oh, geez, do I want to do this? Because I am not, in the same way I'm not great at shoot-em-ups, I'm not good at kind of twitchy action, platformy, precision control type things. And this is kind of one of those games where you're going to die a lot. And I just know that I'm going to die a lot more than your average person is going to die. And for maybe...
Dark Souls?
Well, for me, it may as well be. I mean, for a 2 to 3 hour completion, for like most people, I think that's probably more realistically like a 4 to 5 hour completion. And I just don't have 4 to 5 hours in one slot to do it, or to want to do it, like in that one sitting. And I did, back in March, come back to it, and I think that was motivated, probably as it usually is, by... I don't know, Warboats or Crab or RTDL or something. And I think it was probably one of those jumper achievements, I want to guess. Which is why I just reloaded the game and jumped. I finished World Chapter 1.
And I
did
it looks like you did a lot more than that.
So I did, yeah, I think I did carve out some time to do it. I did Chapter 1, and I did that level 12 without any deaths, which is, I think, the one you can cheese. I think that's the one with the moving wall, where you can just go behind the moving wall and not die.
Oh, for real?
I think so. At least I did that. I definitely did do that. So I managed that one, which is like one of the harder ones. And then I think I just ran out of time, because for me that was like, I don't know, nearly 1 o'clock in the morning. And I knew I wasn't going to complete it. So I thought, I'll put it down and hope that I don't get hit by the bug. So when I come back to it, I'll pick it up where I left off. And guess what?
Yeah.
Guess what happened?
Oh, no. Did you get screwed?
You got bugs.
I loaded the game up, and I was right back in like level... I don't know, 1 or something stupid like that. And I just went, no.
Oh, yeah.
No.
See, that cloud save, that
Threw it
cloud
down.
save data.
That has
man.
nothing to do with the cloud save.
Yeah,
that is to
that's
do
not
with the
cloud
game.
save.
That's through the game, not even bothering to commit a save.
Sure, okay.
So, yeah, it's just, for me, it's this whole concept of it having to be done in one sitting, and knowing that I'm not great at these things, and it's stressing me out a bit. So, having said that, though, and I'm thinking about this now, I now have a Series S. And one of my favourite things about the Series S and X is Quick Resume.
Quick resume.
Which means that games, at least some games, don't fully quit when you go off and do something else, right? Unless you choose to quit the game carries on running in the background. And that really helped me in Deliver Us the Moon recently, where there's a collectible achievement in that glitches if you quit the game. So you'd have to go back and recollect something if you didn't do it in one sitting.
I also recently played that game because it was leaving Game Pass, and also took advantage of Quick Resume for that same achievement.
That thing left Game Pass?
Yes.
Delivers the Moon?
And now I'm wondering if Alteric could benefit from that, in that you would never quit the game, right? You would go off, you do a bit, come back, and it would just resume without losing any of your progress. So now, suddenly, it seems doable. But the problem is not every game has Quick Resume, I think. So I am going to discover if this game has it. And if it does, then I shall be trying to complete Alteric. Because I think I can do it, as long as I don't have to quit the game in between sessions.
I'm pretty sure Quick Resume works with pretty much anything, just because I have 360 games backwards compatible on Quick Resume.
Yes, so I assumed that as well, but I have uncovered a few examples where it does not, or at least it doesn't properly. The game breaks when it tries to resume.
Okay, I know that happened with Forza Horizon. Yeah.
Yes, so I think games that have an online services connection sometimes break a little bit because they're like, I've lost the connection, but I don't. Am I on? Am I off? I don't know. And then really like poorly coded games, I think, struggle as well. So I think Nexoria I did recently, and when I tried to resume that, it just crashed and booted me back to the main menu. And this is a poorly coded game, so I'm not hopeful. But we shall see. We shall see. Yes.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, you're right on pace. You've played it for 1 hour and 17 minutes. So
I'm not, though.
3-hour completion.
I'd be on pace if I didn't have to go back to the bloody beginning.
Well, yeah. If it, yeah. Trust me, I can relate. I was trying to see what my time was on it, and I ended up with, it says 5 hours and 26 minutes. That's having to beat the main. Oh, and there's like this thing on the main boss. Well, it's in the archives of the podcast. You can go find it. I railed on this game for a while. But,
yeah, you don't get the last achievement and if you do something at the end of the very last boss. Is that correct? Yeah.
Yeah. And then you have to quit out because it's not, the boss just stays on the screen even though you killed him, and it's like, okay, what do I do now? Because it looks like he's still dying, and it's either the longest death sequence ever, and that I let it sit there for a good. I didn't want it to do it again. I was like, I just let it sit there for like 30 minutes, and I'm like, I don't think he's dying, and so yeah, I had to go back, and then it shot me back past this. I can't even remember what the name of that one or what number that one stage is, but it's just dreadful, and I couldn't believe it when I actually beat that stage, and then I was forced to go back to go through it because it's such a pain that stage. I wish I could remember what number it was, but yeah. So make sure you do it right the first time, because once you get through that one stage, you're never going to want to see that stage ever again in your life. And
yep, I don't remember the number either, but that's why I stopped playing the game, is I just couldn't beat that stage. That was it.
Oh, it's awful, yeah. And it's like this one checkpoint. There's like the checkpoint's not in the right spot.
It's missing 2 or 3 checkpoints along the way.
Yeah, it's like you really have to get through this. And once you hit that checkpoint, like the stage is over. All you have to do is like jump over a big pit and then just go do something. But getting to there, you have to like, there's like lasers and like, I mean, it's just all kinds of craziness, and and you just have to keep doing it.
I don't hold out much hope, but I if Quick Resume is there, I will give it the good old college try.
There you go, man.
All right. So I feel like we had a good variety today. Some demos, some impossible to overcome, some glitchy, some I don't want to because I already talked about it. That was some good stuff.
Quality content.
Well, on that note, thanks for listening to Abandonment Issues. Give us some feedback. Let us know what you think. Blah, 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 blah. I would like to shout out, if you have recommendations, if you would like to know why we've abandoned certain games, pitch it to one of the other two. So if you want to know why Elroy abandoned something, let me or Chewie know, and then maybe we'll pick it for our next one. So
that's a good idea.
Good idea.
Get some, even if it's not like the full segment, get some user contributions going on, or listener, I guess, not user, some listener contributions. And on that note, the top 3 Pokemon starters: number 3 Bulbasaur, number 2 Snivy, and number 1 Poplio.
Wow, man, you almost stole my list because I had the top 3 things that I accomplished today. Number 1, dodge the EOC administration. I didn't have to do it. And number 2, 400 pull-ups. Actually, a little bit more. And number 1, I dang near finished that stupid yearbook. 3 accomplishments today.
Okay.
Top 3 reasons why Chewie's never going to do this.
You
1,
stole it.
because
You stole
he's
it
a
from
Wookiee.
me.
Number 2, because he's Scottish. And number 1, because he's a Scottish Wookiee.
See, I was going to go with top 3 episodes of Abandonment Issues where I haven't done a top 3. 3, the first one. 2, the second one. 1, this one. Oh, wait. Hang on.
But you just did one. Brain explosion.
Cool beans. See ya.
Later.
Bye.
Purple chicken, spaceman. Purple chicken, spaceman. Purple chicken, spaceman.
In a war, there are seemingly 2 sides, black and white.
Hello, I'm Waka, doing my best to stay in the top 10 Battle Royale leaderboards on TA. Warface is a class-based near-future or alternate reality military first-person shooter, seeing the mercenaries of Warface battling against the comic book villain mercenaries of Blackwood. Warface should not be confused by Warframe, Warface Breakout, Warhammer, Warlock's Tower, or Battlefield. Warface is a long-running, free-to-play, originally released way back in 2013 on PC, 2014 on Xbox 360, and in 2018 on Xbox One. The 360 edition was ill-received and had its servers closed back in 2015. I started Warface in 2020 in order to play it for its Battle Royale mode, but back then the player base was rather low and I never managed to get into a Battle Royale match, despite hours of trying. Fast forward to May of 2021, where I learned the game now offers crossplay with a considerable player base. It's even optimized for the series machines. It is now not that difficult to find a Battle Royale match, which requires 16 players to start, but rarely going over 20 players, and I can see why. Warface is a solid first-person shooter, but its Battle Royale mode is terrible. It is as bare bones as it gets. All players start at the edge of the map with a melee weapon and equipped armor, and work their way inwards to the middle of the map with the circle constantly shrinking around them. Matches only take around 5 minutes, but they are very boring due to the gameplay not being suited to BR mechanics at all. Time to kill is very low unless you run up against someone who has purchased either armor of semi-invulnerability. The pay-to-win aspects are very obvious, but at least weapons are random in this mode. To make it worse, weapons only contain 1 clip, meaning you're constantly low on ammo. The 2 maps features several overpowered camping spots, which you can very easily defend as long as it is within the circle. Fortunately, the BR mode only has a single achievement achieved by placing in the top 3 10 times, which requires little to no skill with a bit of stealth. Funnily enough, the Battle Royale achievement Crouching Tiger has a ratio of almost 12.5. This is by far the easiest achievement with a ratio above 10 I've come across, especially since they revamped the matchmaking at the beginning of 2021. Warface has 37 achievements worth 1000 Gamerscore and over 7100 TA. The TA is very inflated due to its aforementioned free-to-playness, but also because the Xbox versions seem to have suffered from a low player base, making many game types very difficult to find matches in. It also recently revamped its rookie lobbies, moving the entry into veteran lobbies from level 10 to level 25. Warface offers many different game modes, both player versus player and co-op levels. Both have a huge pay-to-win aspect, especially the co-op, but the game is completable without putting in a single cent. Right now, until the 20th of July, thanks WTF, there is a Warface perk pack available in Game Pass rewards, which makes the game a ton easier with good weapons, armor and smoke grenades. Like most Warface items, these are either consumables or require you to use in-game currency to repair between uses, but they are especially useful in the co-op modes, and the rewards way outweigh the costs. Most achievements are fairly straightforward, and mostly requires you to rank up by playing and winning 10 matches of the different game types. Solo game types only require you to get into the top 3, which I found rather easy playing as an engineer, dropping mines every time I respawned. I strongly recommend you to focus on the PvP modes before playing much of the co-op missions, as at level 25 you will be level gated, only matching up with other players level 25 and above. These players have sunk many hours and often plenty of money into the game and are far more difficult to deal with than the rookie levels of 1 to 24. Once you've gotten all the versus achievements, it is time to wrap up the cooperative mode. These feature shorter missions and the special operations, which are longer co-op missions which will take you more than 30 minutes, sometimes hours. There are 4 special operations in particular to set your sights on, 3 of them being in rotation and unavailable most of the time. The special operations Anubis, Cyberhorde and Blackout all have an achievement tied to them, but as mentioned, they are not always available. As of recording, the Anubis special operation is available, but I have no idea for how long. The final special operation you need to complete is the HQ or headquarters. This appears to be quite a challenge, and completing it has a ratio of 17.8. It appears very doable with a competent team of 5 players, but hardly a cakewalk. Its BR mode aside, I was pleasantly surprised by Warface. The gameplay was way better than I expected, and the rookie lobbies have a good mix of free-to-players and pay-to-winners. I've only played versus mode with the free gear, and while it feels unfair at times, you're often on a team which will outweigh your performance, good or bad. The achievements are very inflated, but time-consuming. Getting 10 wins in a mode will at least take you 2.5 hours, but likely longer as you won't win every match unless you are unbelievably good and or lucky. There are 6 win 10 matches achievements, while 2 of them are top 3, meaning you'll need to win 60 matches in the versus mode. The completion is estimated to 100 to 120 hours on TA, which is mostly due to the achievement for hitting player rank 30, but the Game Pass pack offers a 2-week experience boost, doubling experience earned for its duration, possibly halving the completion time. Have a nice day, everyone!